Ooh, that's louder than I expected. Hello, everybody. How we doing today?
Living?
There we go. You're living?
True.
Ooh.
True.
True. Gotta emphasize it.
Yes, extra syllables. That's good.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm old and tired. That's pretty much that's where I live. Even though Scott's older.
Literally 2 weeks. October 6th, September 23rd. That is 2 weeks to the day.
That's a fortnight, bro.
That is 2 weeks to the day. And you were born in Germany. I don't know if they had proper record keeping in the 80s. I mean, I think they were still trying to come back from the war.
There are way too many jokes. Way too many jokes.
Yeah, let's not do any of those.
I'm not.
That one, dog.
Yeah, let's avoid.
Although they actually told me I could not become a citizen. It was heartbreaking.
Well, they probably realized you were American and we're like, we're trying to increase what the world thinks about us.
Yeah, like you're too fat. We don't want to pay for your health care.
It's funny. I was talking to Neil. I hopped on a call with Neil earlier today for like 40 minutes, and we were talking about like the procedure and everything he has coming up, and what he just did, and blah 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 blah. I'll allow him to describe it, but I was like, I just want to let you understand. I just want you to understand that if you were in the United States and you went through that procedure, you would have crippling debt for the rest of your life. You would have a few $100,000 in debt for the rest of your life. So how's that going to go for you? And he's like, well, I'll probably get paid the entire time I'm out because, I work for the NHS. And I'm like, oh.
I mean,
I gotta. Do I have a London office?
Yeah, right. Like, oh, that's nice. That sounds pleasant. So about the crippling debt, America.
too real.
Yeah.
Yes, but
No, hold on.
My
Your debt is college. You chose that. You pick yourself up by your bootstraps.
Yeah, my bad for wanting to get a good, well-paying job. I guess I won't next time.
I don't. That gets me so excited. Who's gonna pay for it? I'm like, I am with my tax dollars, and I make, not to be a dick, I make 3 times more than you. My taxes are paying for that forgiveness. Thank you. Have a nice day. Rage.
Just think about all the time, like when all of my friends were in college getting degrees to have good paying jobs. I didn't have college debt because I didn't really go to college, finish college, anything like that. And I already had a decent paying job at the time at my age. So I spent all my money on throwing parties. And so now they all graduated and have like these really good paying jobs. And I'm sitting there like, oh, I've got memories, I guess. Oh, they have those too because I paid for them. Damn. Go to college, kids.
That 30 rad Christmas tree. That's all I'm saying.
What was it?
You said that 30 rad Christmas tree.
Yes. Okay.
Yes. That was fantastic.
Listen, we saved up all of our cans and we recycled the cans and bottles and we bought more alcohol with them. Okay.
We did.
We've definitely bought more alcohol with them. Then there was that one place that we would get kegs from, and instead of returning the kegs or the keg deposit, you would scrap them to get like $20 more than you would, and then they banned you from being able to get kegs from there. There was that. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I still just remember the skunk beer drawer.
Oh yeah, and Zach, Oh my God. So we had this kid, Zach, to imagine Zach, just think of Celsius. And when he would come over, he was in the Navy. I love Zach to death. When he took the ASVAB, he had to take it a second time and just barely passed the second time. So Zach, he likes to hang out with us. He was a really good kid. He was lots of fun. Didn't exactly have a lot of rocks rattling around upstairs, but he liked beer. So, because we had all this skunk beer that we paid money for, like we would buy it and it would be skunk at purchase, and there was nothing you could do about it because you got it from a gas station. Like shit. So whenever Zach would come over, it'd be like, "Hey Zach, you can You can have this beer. He's like, oh, thanks. And he loved it. Like, he genuinely loved the beer. So I think he just grew a taste for skunk beer from like being in the Navy. Because, you know, Navy clearly doesn't have standards. You know, that was for you, Josh. That was for you, buddy.
Oh, Josh was in the Navy? That makes so much
No,
sense.
he was in the Air Force.
Oh,
That's why it was
so
for
the
Josh.
So the Navy.
That's not true. That's not true. Oh, the Air Force, they get, you know, respect.
Oh, everyone loves a good power bottom. All right.
All right, moving on. Let's excuse me. Let's jump into the game.
Oh God.
So, do you want to remind us what happened last session? Hey, very, very close detail to the end of the session.
Yeah, so I did my kingdom stuff. Everything went surprisingly well, and I resolved all my conflicts. And the Broken Chain are working with whatever that clan is. I keep forgetting the name because we changed it. Either way, doesn't matter. I did really well. We chatted as a group about our future plans. Then, you know, we went to Nick's Kingdom Rolls. They were going well too. And then Broken Chains lady went there. My advisor is not the diplomatic sort, so he's poignant with her. And then, you know, Tora said, yelled duel, and now we have a duel. It's the quick of it. So, hashtag blame Jake. That's all.
I didn't yell duel.
Tora is the one that declared that there should be a duel. That's all I gotta say.
There was no yelling. It was just, you know.
It was duel. You guys should. It's like, do you challenge him to her to a duel? So it's kind of Jake's fault. It's kind of Jake's fault.
It sounded like kind of like a put up or shut up kind of moment, and
hey, that's how it's Jake's fault. That's all.
And little boy Tessel Jr. had to go and be like, "Ew, we're tough," and we're about to find out.
He's just very passionate. Okay.
That's right.
He is
Passionate. That's good. That'll get him far.
How
far do you think it'll get him? Maybe 6 feet?
He probably won't move. She'll probably win initiative.
I don't know. I've never seen Scott roll so bad. This could, be miracles could happen.
It's not an impossibility. It's unlikely. But yeah, that was
the question.
That was the quick
Is if you do lose, will you be
I mean,
because I want to state the fact though, she made it clear to you.
She's a Baron Landsberg.
I will accept. That was her words. Like, if you're challenging me, I will fight you.
Yeah. So that's happening now. That's I think what we're entering on. So you muted Scott.
She's a Kushibashi, and thank you. Yeah, she is. She's a Kushibashi.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are we just gonna fight in this like advisor room?
Yeah, why would you do otherwise? Excuse me if I keep coughing. I got like a tickle in my throat.
I'm assuming our positions don't matter at all here. It's just rolling initiative.
I mean, it kind of does. I can imagine that the two of you kind of like step off and.
Yeah. 20 feet.
Yeah,
seems pretty good.
I wonder how great it would be if Nara and
would you like to roll initiative first?
Like mounted combat style.
Yeah, I'll roll initiative first. You know. Starting off strong. Starting off strong, boys. So I lose my action.
Yeah. you get a move.
That's not going to help because she's going to...
You can run. Oh, you mean like you can try and get away. Right.
Yeah,
provoke an attack of opportunity. So no, that's actually a terrible idea.
So could you say, because obviously Jake's character had delivered her lines, and her lines were something like, you know, more or less whatever, shut up. And how was it that you officially challenged her? But she said no, blah, 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 like warning you, blah, blah, blah. Like, I have walked from here to here. I have done this to this. So, and he just talked a bunch of shit that you did. What was your official, like, it doesn't matter necessarily what you said last time. What is your official challenge this time?
A challenge, I guess a duel of honor here, right?
So you would say a duel of honor and you kind of like step up and square off?
Yeah, well, he takes out, I would assume, this guy is pretty religious. So he takes out like inside of his like shirt, he takes out a tucked away like iron or steel symbol of the Order Tanzo, which would be like a phoenix in fire or something like that. Give a quick blessing to asking Mother Jurta to guide his will, and he draws his, shield and hand axe.
Okay.
Oh god. Yeah.
Are you prepared for this?
Yeah, he's geared. Everything's written. Apparently, I'm not prepared though. I rolled a 1 on initiative.
That +5 to GM's initiative says you're never prepared for this. You were never prepared.
I know she has improved initiative or 20 dex. Either way, it's not good.
I was trying to double check this right here.
So Scott, roll your first attack on me or whatever you're doing.
Hold on one second. I just have to double check. Make sure I'm doing this the correct way.
This will be pretty quick, boys. She's like,
making sure I get the numbers right. So that's 3, 4, 5. Okay, cool. So she's going to step up to you. Excuse me as I again I do apologize. She's going to step up to you and attack you.
yeah.
So
that
without
happens.
without drawing a weapon or anything like that, she just goes, you've made your decision, and steps up to attack. Excuse me.
She could roll 2 1s. As soon as she used flurry of blows on me. It would have to be 3 maybe, depending on her level. Oh, okay, roll to confirm. That confirms, just barely.
Okay,
Actually, I don't have Dex AC, so.
So, first and foremost, can you go ahead and make me a fortitude save?
17.
Okay, cool. You are not stunned. That's good news, right? That's good news.
I mean, I get critted, so we'll find out if I'm just insta dead.
Okay, so the good news is that you're not stunned. The bad news is I got to see what my damage is because just double whatever I normally do. Which my normal damage is nothing crazy. She's just doing a regular attack. All right, cool. So it's going to be R2D because this is doubled. Oh, I rolled trash damage.
Not too bad. Let's see. I was at 23.
So she walks up to you, and she walks up to you saying, "You've made your decision." And she walks up to you, and it's one of those things where she kind of starts to take a slight step to her right, but then as you go to block to the right, she wheels around the other way and drops an elbow in the side of your head, like the upside your head, completely like knocks you senseless for a moment. Which means now it's your turn, and you have a move action, but no standard action because you rolled a natty 1.
I don't do anything. I'll provoke an attack of opportunity. So
okay, so you stand still.
Yeah, he takes it. He got hit in like the face or something.
Awesome.
Recoiling from it.
So then she's going to do her next flurry of blows. She's going to do a flurry of blows, and she's going to do her next stunning attack against you. I'm so sorry that I keep coughing, everybody. I'll try to remember to mute, but mid-sentence is hard.
I have a pretty good AC, so let's hope.
Let's hope.
Just roll a 19.
Okay, I will. Don't worry, it's only a 20 chance to hit. She doesn't have a 19-20 hit or anything like that. So first of all, fortitude save.
Me, dude? What the fuck?
Excuse me.
Yeah, I keep rolling 1s. So I'm stunned.
Yep, I'm just trying to pull up the details of stun for you, even though it doesn't want to pull up right here for me.
I think I lose my action.
You actually drop everything you're holding and other effects, but doesn't want to pull up inside Roll20. So
I assume I don't lose my shields because it's like strapped on.
If it's strapped onto your arm, it depends what kind of shield. Is it a light shield or a heavy shield? Is it a shield or a buckler? Okay, yeah. So then that's fine. That's still stuck to you. Stunned. So stunned is you drop everything that you're holding, right? Everything in your arms. So obviously that wouldn't go because it's strapped to you. You take a -2 penalties to AC, and you lose your dexterity bonus to AC if any. On top of that, people have a +4 CMD, CMB against your CMD.
So just like roll your next attacks.
So
I guess.
I'm going to roll my damage first, which is going to be.
You can insta kill me here. Almost.
So, and then for her second attack with the flurry of blows, because you don't have your dexterity to AC, and you have a -2 AC beyond that. So you have a -2 to your flat-footed AC. I'm going to attack you again. Actually, no. I'm going to grapple you.
Yeah, I have go for it.
Because you are stunned, so I do not provoke an attack of opportunity. So I'm going to grapple you. And since I have...
Dropped.
1 second. I only did 17 damage. I think he's still standing.
I'm at 4 HP.
Yeah, I'm just trying to make sure I have my CMB correct. Yep, there it is. Okay,
I rolled really high.
I'm going to roll my CMB, and don't forget, I have a +4 to this. So this is heightened by the +4 for you being stunned. Ready?
Yeah, you're going to beat it. You rolled an 18. You beat it you beat it flat. Absolutely. This is... Scott, your luck's back.
Yeah, it is. It is. So
You're welcome.
First round, she attempts to stun you, just hurts you. Critical hits and hurts you. Second round, she successfully stuns you, then wraps an arm around you and just completely has you inside of a chokehold.
I'm still stunned, so I can't do anything this round.
But her turn is over, so she can't do anything else. It is now your turn, and you can now act. Oh, you're stunned, so you can't do anything.
So I can't do anything.
That's right.
I can't even speak.
Tora will actually yell out at that point. Stop playing with the boy and finish it.
She will actually look at you and say, "This isn't your home," and look over to Naren and say, "Do you follow Kajinksi law?"
You muted Nick.
Yeah, I know. What's the actual Kajinksi law? Is it just fight to the death, or?
Well, actually, as funny enough as Josh mentioned inside spoilers chat earlier, which is accurate, what is common is if you challenge somebody to a duel and you lose the duel, that you get to choose death or exile. But that's if you follow Kajinksi law versus maybe you doing your own thing. So the defeated gets to choose death or exile unless they die as a part of the attack that defeats them. You know.
Is it exile from the clan or exile from Kajinks?
Exile from Kajinksi. You are no longer welcome in Kajinksi, yeah. So your clan cannot accept you back. You have dishonored yourself and your clan. So, but if you die, if you choose death, you can die with honor.
Interesting. Yes.
Thanks, Midnight. Thanks.
I have contingencies either way. So
yes. She says, "Do you follow Kajinksi law?" And you say yes. Okay. She is then going to applying like a tight squeeze around the throat and says like whispers into his ear, "Make your choice."
Gotta get a second to think. He, I guess, spits up blood on the floor. Exile. My clan does not believe in death needlessly.
With that, she looks up to make sure that there's recognition in their eyes, and once they see it, she's then going to make an unarmed attack against you. You being grappled, but this is non-lethal damage. I take no penalty for non-lethal damage because I'm a monk.
Yeah.
For non-lethal chance to hit. Did I do this wrong, actually? Hold on. Did I do this wrong? Grappled. Hold on 1 second. Conditions. Let me check grappled. I may have had the wrong modifier on that. Bum. Let's see, grappled. Let's see, a -4 to your penalty to dexterity. So your AC is already 2 less for that. A grappled creature takes -2 in attack rolls, combat maneuver checks instead of those made to grapple or escape. In addition, grappled creatures can take no actions that require 2 hands. Grappled creature attempts to cast a spell. Grappled creatures cannot use stealth to hide from. Yeah, I think that was the correct modifier. So then when that attack doesn't hit, just finishing my flurry of blows. I'll attack you a second time. Again, unarmed attack. A 20 is going to hit, and she's going to do this much damage to you with non-lethal damage to knock you out. So more or less, like she has you choking, and she whispers over to you, says, "Make your choice," and you say, and you spit out like your blood and whatever it is you say, and she kind of like grabs you by, like kind of has her arm around your because she was choking you out, has her arm on your shoulder, kind of pulls you out, and then brings you in for 2 elbows to the back of the head to knock you unconscious, and then lets you flop down on the ground.
Yeah, I mean that happens. So let's hope Scott got all of his good rolls out at the beginning here, where it mattered, but kind of doesn't matter.
Yeah, I still have 2 more events, so
she immediately walks back over to where she was. If she doesn't stand over his body, she doesn't stand victory. Like that was such an easy victory. There's no honor in it, so she immediately goes back over to where she was standing prior. Just to make sure she shows respect to the clan that she's visiting.
Yeah, that's really unlucky.
Well, I mean, you were gonna get your ass whooped either way.
Yeah, but he could have been like, I hit once or twice, right? Done something, but that was just.
I mean, it's not like you just got miffed up by a girl and then cried for mercy. But yeah, no, that's cool.
That's like actually not what happened at all. But okay.
Pretty sure it was.
Well, it's not just a girl. She's a level something monk.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like what?
Absolutely.
Mind you, in about 2 years, Nick's daughter is going to be able to beat the shit out of him.
Oh, this is very true.
She's about to be a black belt.
Already kicked through 3 boards. And definitely, yeah, she's a beast.
Oh, it's so funny. So when she's going through her teenage hormonal rages, like we all did, and she gives you a kick to the temple, like, what do you mean I can't go to junior? Blah, blah, poof. Anyways, so she walks back to where it was she was standing beforehand, and just respectfully stands there, waits to see if you say anything.
He's not happy. Naren's just disgusted by the whole situation. One, somebody touting honor and asking for an honor duel and then has no honor.
Well, different types of versions of honor. You forget what my client is about.
Kajinxi is Kajinxi.
Yeah, who gives a shit about Kajinxi and its rules? Its rules are antiquated at best.
Keegan. Jake should thank you too.
Oh, thank you, Keegan. Very, very much. Didn't even see that.
So when she stands there, she waits to see if you say anything. There's a period of time pass where, like, I would say 4 seconds pass where neither of the advisor or Naren say anything.
Yeah, I'm just going to look over and say, somebody drag him outside.
Okay. Ryan does not. Somebody else.
Tora will address you.
Eric, the Hafue, or Ryan, the withered old diseased man. Either of them dragging him out would be a bad idea. Somebody else can get it. But I imagine a guard or whatever. Tora addresses, yep.
Yeah, Tora will turn to Naren and say, there was much shame in that. His shame outdid any bravery he may have had, and it's left a bad taste in my mouth. May I be excused?
You may.
She'll go out and probably, if a guard hasn't got to him yet, she'll grab him by the leg and drag him.
Cool. So you can just drag him out. But before you leave, she'll actually turn to you and give you a slight bow and say, I look forward to the wonderful things that your clan and I will be doing together in the future.
Tora nods at her. Just drags.
Puts him inside a mud puddle.
With her one arm, she just leans down, grabs him, and just drags.
So then she turns back to you, sir.
Once more with feeling.
I've already given you my terms. It's an all-inclusive or an agnostic shrine or nothing at all.
She shakes her head and says, "It is for Vroga. To worship others within the walls of Vroga would be disrespect to Vroga. And I think we've seen enough," as she looks at a little bit of blood on the ground. I think we've seen enough disrespect today.
Agreed.
Then she will say, I imagine that there is no hard feelings for how this played out.
Oh no. It looks like you did Clan Kuchibashi a favor, and possibly Clan Shadow.
If only Clan Shadow had the wherewithal to see how it needs restructuring. And then she would give a bit of a bow, and she would turn and walk out.
Oh, for shame. I'm gonna then turn to Eric and say, have a pack ready, and speak with some Hafue. If I forget the ambassador's name.
Shoka?
Shoka, yeah. If Shoka doesn't want to live in complete disgrace, he can work as an ambassador to the Hafue, to us, possibly punching through Eldamar through the route we took to reach the other tribe.
More or less, you're asking him to be like an emissary?
Yeah.
Wow, breaking Kajinxi code, huh?
No,
Right.
he's gonna live in Eldamar, not in Jinx.
Oh, sure, yeah. Just give him a task.
I think he's going home to collect his stuff and leaving.
I don't know if that's how that works.
They'll follow after you throwing like literal fistfuls of shit. Shame. And
Yeah, but once he gets past the border, who's gonna fucking know?
Oh, and it's axe beak shit. That's not solid.
oh, pellets.
It's got like little bits of berry in it, you know.
Oh, bird shit. Ew. So anyways, yeah, you so that would be the end of that. I don't think there was anything else we needed to do with that there, is there?
No.
Now I honestly, because it's been a couple of weeks, I don't even know where my cell phone is. I don't think I took notes after last week. I have to remember which events did you already do?
None.
Sorry,
I think we had two.
But
That
usually
was the
more to
first
go.
event.
Usually
Yeah.
Monday when I
Did
get
the
home from
recruiting one.
recruiting one, gotcha. Usually Monday when I get home from work, I have time to get myself kind of prepared with notes or whatever. But this week, Aurora wanted to go. She's practicing bike riding, and so I went for a 45-minute with her to help her learn how to bike ride, which is cute and everything, but it's took up my prep time. So where am I? Why can't I find what I need? It's not hit. Oh, here we go. That's what I'm looking for. I'm just gonna glance through this really quickly.
Oh, we take Emma across from the ice cream place.
Yep.
And that's like a 2-for-1.
Yeah, of course. No, well, just because the street's quiet enough, you know what I mean. Just went out there or whatever. Because right now she's doing the scooting thing. I took the training wheels off about a month and a half, 2 months ago, and I took the pedals off. Because once she gets the scooting balance done, she can ride the bike. She just needs to get the balance down. And just in this past week, she's already improved considerably. It's just a matter of getting her to have the confidence to freaking do it. You know what I mean? 1 second. That's not that one. Nope. I'm gonna go to this one. There you are. I need this one, and I think the other one's over here. Yeah. Okay. So this is one of them. Okay. So coming to you, Nick. Do you currently have any advisors handling other tasks?
Yes.
Do you remember who you have handling what?
I believe it was Karzug and Shala.
Oh, that's right. They were taking care of recruiting your one failed and the other one got what's his face Barbados for you. That's right.
Correct. Yes.
All right. So those two are occupied, and I don't think you have Eric Hoof or anybody else doing anything, do you? No, you do not. But weren't you going to have? Just wanted to see that you have an herbalist now, and you have a brewery now. Oh, not something entirely. I thought you were having Ryan working on something. No, that was the upgrade. Did you see the upgrade that Ryan has?
Let me check that.
He has a pretty
Probably
amazing
not.
upgrade. So, sorry, side note, Kushibashi, advisors, Ryan. There he is. Camellia Blasted. So Ryan, who's actually he's a doctor, damn it. He has a couple of abilities. Not Master of Pathology, though that's a fun one as well. He also has the ability to... Is that him? Is it the one that has that ability? To make the
Healer's calling.
Huh?
What?
I thought he was the one that can make the potions. Wasn't that him? Am I confusing him with somebody else? He has a shaman stick that can hold up to 3 potions or oils inside of it. I know that.
You might be thinking of Jake's Traxian.
That can make the potions?
Maybe, I don't remember, but she's an herbalist.
Yeah, she's not Patreon supported though, so she didn't get it.
True.
I thought he was the one that had the ability to make the potions. The 2 HP potions. Wasn't he? Am I crazy? Joey? Anybody? Keegan? Does anybody recall? I thought that
feel
was
like
him.
you're telling me lies.
No, I'm trying to recall. Yeah, no, he is the one. It's right here in the Healing Ken. So you could actually give him a task where he could actually make potions. So a community healer knows well how to treat injuries and sickness without the use of magic. Whenever she uses the heal skill to treat deadly wounds well, you clicked it. Okay, good. Or provide long-term care, she heals 1 additional point of damage. Whenever she successfully treats poison or disease, the bonus granted by the saving throw increases by 1. This benefit increases by 1 more at level 4 and every 4 levels thereafter. Yay! And they're level 3 right now, so. But that also means, because of something else that they can do, something else that's kind of like linked to that, they can actually make, in 5 days effort, at level 3 and 5 days effort, they can actually make 3 2 HP healing potions, so more or less by spending 1 week doing that. Or if you want to have them spend 20 days, so if you want to invest them for 21 days in doing this, so they can't do other tasks, they can make you 12 2 HP healing potions. Which is
very cool.
Yeah, which is very, 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 very useful. So I don't know if that's something that you would want to do with them, but I would suggest it's something that you have them doing.
I will not have them do it right now.
Okay. So either way, let's get into your actual tasks. And thank you for the gifted sub to Joey, Steve. Moving forward. You know what's sad? Steve gave me a demon when he got to 666. What's his name? Oklo. Never actually gave me the details for a demon or devil or anything like that. And when we got to the angel time for that either. So Oklo still has yet to release their demon, devil, angel, or nothing. One day Oklo will give it to me. One day it'll come out. All right. All right, for you. The person that is going to bring this information to you, I think, is best coming from Tonscreet. Right? Yeah, probably best coming from Tonscreet, which is your marshal. Most things for you are going to come from Tonscreet, which is your marshal. It just makes sense. All right. So that being said, there's a growing crisis happening at this. There's a growing crisis happening at their southern border. Apparently, a prominent family of Kamatori breeders within Clan Kushibashi are gravely upset. So one of the prominent breeders families in the clan are gravely upset that one of their prized Kamatori wandered too far than where it was supposed to roam and came across a group of hunters belonging to another prominent family within Clan Densho who killed it and took the remains as a trophy. This family within the clan demands satisfaction by having the Kamatori remains returned and the hunter that killed them be prosecuted by Kushibashi law, while the hunters claim that the Kamatori clan came into Densho borders, and by rights of the old ways, the Kamatori remains belong to them as a trophy. While this sounds kind of small, anger has been brewing between our citizens along the border since they came hugging along our border's lines. And Clan Densho's people like bringing up the old ways quite a bit and often antagonize grudges that they have with the Kushibashi clan. Our ways are very different from their barbaric nature, and it's causing, again, ample ample issues. If this is not handled well, blood could be spilled on both sides, damaging our relations with the clan Densho.
Wow, that's distasteful.
Listen, Warlord, if I may. And he waits.
Speak.
As far as my understanding, the hunters broke the law, and we do not live in the Barren Lands as much as Clan Densho wishes that to be so. This is Kajinxi. Send more guards to reinforce the border and arrest any poachers that come for our commatory. It will leave a clear message to those to respect our clan's laws. We don't need to directly prosecute those that have already done this transgression, but it'll at least stop any future issues from happening. That being said, I should probably have moved the tokens into the table for you. So who's your consular? Daelric should be out here.
Mm-hmm.
Who else should be here? You should have Tonscreet should be out here. Who else should be out here for this? Spy Master, which is
Nope, she's busy.
Oh, no, she's busy. My apologies. And your treasurer should be out here.
Ivan? Or is
Yep,
it Mitchell?
which is Ivan. Ivan's not busy, right?
Nope.
Eric, you had just sent off to go looking into trying to get Shoka arranged for something, and Ryan will stay because he has a hard time getting up. So, excuse me. So your counselor, which is Daelric, says, "This is Graves' insults in the eyes of Kuchisabashis. They have been having problems with the hunters and Clan Densho, among other issues. Speaks with the peoples at border to learn more as issues, and invites those citizens of Densho's to hall. Meet to talks of problems, settle reasonably, has them discuss amongst each others, and overseen by our laws keepers." And then the treasurer chiming in, this is Ivan, says, "Force the hunters onto the negotiation table. They should pay double for what the family lost along with the remains. Triple if they don't want consequences to fall upon the hunters who slay the prize to commatory. It's that simple. They broke the law, make an example of them. I'm sure Varric should understand."
Is Tora in this meeting?
You said she walked out. It's up to you if she's there. And obviously,
I
Shoka's
didn't
not.
know if I would not be if it was directly after this.
It wouldn't have been directly after. This could be like a day later, 2 days later. So she definitely would be welcome.
Well, I mean, if Tora's there, one thing she'll say is, find out if the commatory was taken on your lands. If it is, kill those involved. They shouldn't be doing it in the first place. They know better. If it was taken on Densho land, respects.
Oh, hi, Tyler. Hi, Raiders. How are you?
Respects more or less what our own laws are.
That is what I feel is the appropriate course of action. Daelric, send the troops down to the border. Make sure it's defined. Let's make sure that this indeed happened, either on or off our land. If it was on our land, next time Clan Densho orcs come on our land and kill our commatory, then we slaughter them. That's Kajinxi law.
Tora nods at you.
So Todd Screet says, "You wish for there to be bloodshed then, when there need not be."
That is the ways of Clan Densho. They will not understand anything else. You know this.
He nods and says, "But if this was not on Densho's lands, then why are we going to follow Densho's laws?"
Well, do you have proof that it was not on Densho land?
I can continue to gather information, but it seems as though it is believed, at least, that it took place in Kushibashi lands. Perhaps I'm being a little biased, but I am inclined to believe the words of Kushibashi than I am of Densho, considering the background of each.
I don't believe Kuchibachi law is any softer than Densho when it comes to the slaying of a Kamatori.
But at least punishment need not be death. There are other punishments that can be had as well.
What punishment would you feel was fitting for the death of a Kamatori? That is a debt that cannot be paid by a single Karuk.
I know better than most the difficulty it is to breed and rear Kamatori, as you know, Warlord. And appropriate punishments, well, perhaps if they wish to have bloodshed because of what things are done, we can have them killed by their own warlord, or whoever it is that handles such tasks inside Clan Densho. That would send a strong enough message to them of where their clan leader lies, rather than us having to do it and raising even greater ire between their people and our own.
If I may, if I was to run back to Densho Verix with this and say, if it is found that they were on Kushibashi land, if that you're sending Verix to kill them, some may look at that as weakness. If it was on Kushibashi land, it should be dealt with the Kushibashi, dealt by the Kushibashi, with the support of Verix.
Not to mention, I can't see any Clan Densho Karuk believing that being sent back to Clan Densho is going to end in anything but death. So I do not expect a surrender. How would you intend to deal with that, Tonscreet?
Chiming in, kind of like cutting off Tonscreet's response, Ivan speaks up and says, then we do what my option is. Instead, we just make their family pay back the family that is losing. Double the value of the Kamatori, because we know how difficult it is to raise a new one. That's years of breeding that have been lost now. And since we will not forgive them the consequences, we also punish the hunter.
While I have great faith in your ability to handle our finances, I didn't realize you found a way to extract gold from dirt and dust.
They have their means of trade. They may not necessarily carry coin, but they have other things of value that we can use. They're hunters, are they not? I'm sure they have an amount of wealth.
They're hunting on our land.
Actually, there'll be a laughter around the table for that one, I imagine. Except for Ryan. I don't know if Ryan probably just didn't hear it.
We need a single swift solution for something that really requires two. I'm going to have to go with Deserox. You handle it, and then I forget your ambassador name.
It says it on the. Can you see it on the screen or no?
Did you put it on there?
Yeah, it's right on the map.
Or you didn't put her in the map? I don't see it.
She is on the map. She's on your map, top left-hand corner. You don't see her?
Let me refresh it.
Let me make sure that she's visible to all players, because she should be. Yeah, all players. Yep, she's right between Ryan and Ivan.
Either way,
okay. It's Tora. Either way.
Oh, okay. Densho Tora. All right, I'm just blind. So Tora, Densho will be sending Beastmasters here to learn the art of taming beasts to ride. I'm going to say this: while we will handle the problem at the border, and we will handle it swiftly and brutally if it is found to be happening on our lands, if it continues to happen unchecked, there will be no transfer of knowledge. It's not my people's job to cull your tribesmen.
Yes, well, if it is found that our hunters did, in fact, go into Kushibashi land, we will send soldiers of our own. Our alliance means much to Clan Densha.
Same to Kushibashi. Okay, that settles it. Desirax, you have your orders.
Desirax will go out and handle it. So Desirax has to you're not doing Desirax's original plan of what to take care of, which was to have them air their grievances, talk to them, so on and so forth. Well, I suppose, and settle it reasonably. You know what? And settle it reasonably, that is considered reasonably. If they did it, then they're guilty and so on and so forth. So that being said, it's actually a DC of hard for this one, because both sides are pointing. Other options were easier. You chose the hard one. So they're both pointing their fingers, so it's gonna be hard to get to the bottom of it. So Desirax has a +4. The DC is a 20. So you're rolling 1d20 +4 on this one, big boy.
Jesus Christ.
You don't need to pray to me. You just need to roll the dice. Just give me 1 second. I just want to do something real quick before you roll. Okay.
I didn't ask them, diddle.
And you're good now.
1d20 +4.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. Jeez.
You are
25% chance. 25% chance. I would go for it.
25% chance.
You did it. Let's go.
You succeeded.
That was good.
Wow.
Let's go.
All right. But to find out who the actual guilty party was, because I don't have it defined who the actual guilty party is in this situation, I want it to be Nick and Jake are going to rock, paper, scissors, D100s. And whoever gets the higher value, best out of 3, right? Whoever gets the higher value gets to be the innocent one. Oh. All right, Nick. All right, Nick takes first win. Oh
no.
Oh
Jake.
boy. Oh boy.
Oh my god.
Oh, that low and still almost lose. Oh boy. Okay, so Nick, you're the winner. That means that it was in fact Clan Densho that was the perpetrators here, that were the bad guys here. So Desirax kind of pulls them together as they start pointing fingers, so on and so forth. And eventually one of the other family members slips up and says something that is like kind of like the thread that they can pull to more or less kind of like implicate that they were guilty as well, and they spilled the beans fully to save themselves. You know what I mean? And it was found that Clan Densho was in fact guilty. And in accordance to Densho law, you killed him. Oh, you know what I didn't say? I didn't say what kind of test this was. I don't think it'll matter though for you. Hold on. No, you're good. So but so yeah, what ends up happening is I'm actually going to give it so that you increase your stability by a permanent 1, Nick.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I like that.
For your success in this matter. Good news. So under events and it's in the top area, it's the green box when you're looking at stability. It's this box over here. This one right here goes to a +1 if you can see where I'm clicking.
Yep, I got it.
Okay. Awesome. So, and that increases your stability permanently. And then that brings us to, and so that's Desirax that handles that, removing them from the table for a period of time.
Jeez, that was tasty.
Mm-hmm. All right. Next up, after that is done, you have your next event. All right. So this one is actually going to be from Ryan. Okay. And for this task, let me see. We have Ryan. Who else is going to be here? Ryan, who's your high priest? Eric is going to be here. because his task, I don't know if you were actually sending him to handle what's his name or not. You could listen to this first. Let's see. Grand Diplomat is going to be Michiko is going to be here. The Michiko, you can't have Shala. She's busy. And Ivan is here for this one as well. And you're going to hear about it from Ryan. Daelric is clearly not here because he's busy. And Tonscreet will, of course, listen in on it. So, this will be Ryan. Warlord. Tonscreet has actually discreetly looked into something for me that I've been watching for some time. I noticed that there was a streak in the sky night after night for a period of time, going back several moons now. As fortune would have it, following the streak in my evening gazes, as I have, has not gone without its merit. I noticed that the streak seems to have grown brighter, and bizarrely enough, a few nights ago has grown, well, closer. I believe it to have crashed down not too far from us, actually in the hills to the east of us. Between here and Brosk. I've asked Tonscreet to look into the matter, and, well, he did for me. It seems as though that what had crashed down from the heavens, is a glowing white and purple crystal. It's a strange thing, to say the least. I haven't had them collect it yet, because we don't know what it's made of or how it is we should approach. But so far, it doesn't appear to be any form of harmful. We're just going to have to research it. For now, Tonscreet has his guards standing around, scouts standing around to make sure nobody else has taken too much interest, but I'd suggest moving quickly before others come in and take this matter to their hands. Thank you again, Tonscreet, for your aid in this. He'd nod. I have some alchemical experience, as you know, and I have some equipment, though it is probably aged more than I am. I might as well start now and to get it, start understanding what this is. He says, kind of looking to you. But chiming in, you actually have Eric, who is, of course, interested in things of nature, says, we can, of course, speak to Lady Aravel. We can, of course, speak to Lady Aravel. Commune with the gods, or even the spirits of the woods. Might be able to gain some degree of insights. I can do a ritual. We can make the preparations for that before we just go shoving this thing inside random liquids or rubbing herbs all over it. You would have your treasurer, which is Ivan, says, or we can look for buyers. Sure, we don't know what it is, but that bit of intrigue could be something that leads to more value. Let somebody else discover what it is at their own cost. In the meanwhile, turn us a quick profit. I mean, it is a star after all. How often do you have the opportunity to carry one of those? I'm sure I could find somebody. And finishing it up, you have Michiko saying, we can actually, rather than having the attention diverted from just our advisors here, we could look into calling experts from our allies. They can aid us in the investigation. Maybe even build some connections with some of the other clans that we aren't very friendly with as of yet. We can discover the details of this together, and maybe a new alliance along the way.
These are all sound paths to take. That said, Ryan, this was your discovery. And it's yours to see through.
He nods, and he actually scratches his chin for a moment and says, though, You do not claim to be a man of knowledge or wisdom unless you can hear the wisdom in other people's words. Knowledge should be shared, though perhaps not with strangers in hope, but with allies with their own expertise. Do you think maybe we can call out to Clan Shadow? Perhaps having Lenny here could be a degree of aid with what expertise he has, since considering we have an empty seat at our table, perhaps he could fill it for some time while we find out what other envoy they choose to send and make a fool of themselves.
If that is what you wish, as I said, this is your decision. This is your find. If you want Lenny, we can most certainly use the new favor that Clan Shadow definitely owes.
With a letter drafted and sent to Clan Shadow by Ryan to Lenny, and simultaneously one to Lenny and one to the clan, Warlord Tessel, to, of course, ask his permission, but also to ask Lenny if he has interest. Again, this is coming from Ryan. They would request Lenny be removed from your clan for 1 month to provide this this aid.
I don't think I could do that one, Nick. That's a -7 to economy.
That's the stat that for you that can actually wear it, buddy.
I that would bring it from a 41 to
It's actually, with him being gone, it counts as a -11, so it brings it from a 41 to a 30.
30.
Oh no,
That's
a
pretty
30. Oh no,
That's like
Jake, what's your
30
economy?
BP.
Jake,
It's
what's
like
your,
me now.
Jake, what's your
Oh my
economy?
god.
Oh wow, look at that. Oh, you brought down to me being better
I
than
think
Jake.
it's 29 anyway.
It's 3 BP loss. Yeah, we can do it.
Mm.
Wait, I don't. He might be busy this month. I think he might be doing something. No, it doesn't look like it. He needs to still be researching about the fire elemental. But yeah,
You could put all of your stuff on hold and take him to go there, which means you were without him until the start of not this upcoming kingdom term for you, whenever that is, but the following one.
I mean, yeah, I can do it, but do you think it's worth stopping? Or, I mean, it's fine because that means you can have your guy come over for a month for me and figure out the fire elemental stuff, because you know, gotta do that one.
I think he's saying you already owe him a favor.
I don't owe you a Nick a favor. If it's the loans, I paid him back. Remember?
No, it's your ambassador that just
That's
embarrassed
not a
him.
favor. That is no favor. I'm the one taking the L on that one.
You're where could Jinxie? Your guy just disgraced himself in the middle. He basically was like, he just tried to like
From your
white knight and got
perspective-
laid out. That's what happened. Your boy just tried to
she
white
held
knight
out
and
her
got laid
fist,
out.
and he like ran face forward.
Oh, Joey's right. For a month, my curator could take place for Magister.
That is true. Your
I was
curator,
gonna. I was
which
gonna do
means
it
which
anyway.
means you don't lose the -4. You instead, what happens is your curator makes it so you don't get the -4. You just have the -7 for them missing, because your curator gets to act as it,
Yeah.
right? Because you don't have the penalty of it being empty. You just have the penalty of them not being.
Yeah. If it negates the vacancy penalty.
Correct.
Yeah, I was gonna do it anyway, so that's fine. I'll lose the 7. I'll lose 2 BP. You're welcome, Nick.
So I would put on next to Lenny, like MIA or visiting Nick or whatever you want, and then under your economy, you can do temporary event -7,
Oh, I was just gonna delete it. That makes
or
more sense.
delete a 7, so you don't. Just that way you don't forget it. You know what I mean?
I won't forget the 7. I'm writing it down.
Okay, cool. As long as you don't forget it anywhere. All right, Nick. So now we're gonna have you rolling, but he's sending Lenny over to lend a degree of aid in this endeavor. 1 second, because this is going to be an economy roll, which for you is no plus minus or anything like that. So for you, this is economy. No pluses or minuses, but you have Ryan doing it with this +7. His focus is alchemy specifically, so there's a +9. and he has Lenny coming over to lend an assistance. So that gives you an additional aid another of a +2. So that's actually a +11 on it. So and then on top of that, Lenny actually has a special trait that might be able to aid you in this situation. Funny enough, you also have a special trait as Ryan that might be able to aid him in his endeavor should you return the favor. Because you have elemental insight.
Maybe that sounds like a pretty fair trade.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, I'll have to think about it because that's 2 BP.
Yeah, not requesting redemption.
First of all,
the smartest and brightest.
I did it, Nick. Okay.
You had to get shamed into it.
No, I was gonna do it anyway. Oh my
sure.
God.
Sure. Hey, chat. I actually
dislike everyone.
Actually, could you go ahead, Jake? Because you're a mod, right? Can you in chat? Can you write /POLL and then just ask the question? Was he going to do it without the shame? Phrase that however you'd like. I want to hear what chat's opinion is on this matter. All right, so Nick, you're actually rolling with not a +7, not a +9, but a +11 against this check. Now, to be clear, this is not an easy check. It's a good thing you chose that. I hate to tell you this, sir, but this is a formidable check because the reward is totally going to be worth it if you can pull it off. So it's a DC 23. You have +11, which means on the face you have to roll a 12 or more. Now, do you have any leftover? What's it called? Fortune's Fate? No, WWs. Oh. Did you have any leftover?
I think Jake has one.
I know specifically Neil does on Wednesday morning. He has one saved.
I have one.
Oh, you were the one that had one. Gotcha. I couldn't remember.
I can't figure out how to do this poll thing either.
I got it.
It's /POLL, and then when you press enter, it pulls up options. You fill it out.
It's not pulling anything up.
Are you type in chat? Just type anything in chat real quick.
I do not.
Oh yeah, really? You're a mod. It should allow you to do it.
That's weird. I'm not getting anything pop up, which is
either way. So Nick, so you do not have any WWs, correct? I just know that Jake has one and Neil has one on Wednesday, but he's gonna be missing for a month. So hopefully I remember that in a month when he comes back because I think V-Sword gave it to him. Oh, but somebody named Axonaxov. Axonaxov? I mean, I like the name. I'm just trying to make sure I say it correctly. Axonaxov. You just got a WW, buddy.
Oh boy, you chat. You're just some beautiful motherfuckers. All right.
Yeah. Oh well, no. How do you pronounce it correctly? Axonaxov. Axonaxov. I don't know. Emphasis of the wrong syllable. So you're using WW on this, Nick?
Oh, of course. That's what it was for.
So your +11 becomes a +16 against the 23. Excuse me, Joey. I will say what I want to say, okay? And I don't have to eat an entire edible to make that decision. What did you roll? Jesus Christ.
33.
So is that a critical success?
Yeah.
Yep.
Beat it by 10.
There is a that is what a whatchamacallit. You guys can vote. Poll is up. All right, back to you, sir. So you crush this with a critical success on this. So after spending a few weeks, a month for Lenny, because he had to travel there and back and everything, of looking this over, they come to the realization that what this is that fell from the skies, this geode that on the inside has these crystals, actually they themselves have a innate magical property to them that are kind of built inside of it. You know what? I'll tell you what it does after we're done with your round. That way you can make a decision afterwards. Tell you what it does after we're done with the round. That way you can...
I hope it's ghost touch so I can make Tessel over there grovel on his hands and feet.
It's not ghost touch.
Well, luckily that would never happen. So,
are you sure? Apparently, it just takes a cleric and a headlock, and your people.
A monk. And
sorry.
was not groveling. Okay.
So the last thing you have to deal with, Nick, for your turn is the random event roll. Now you're gonna have to choose who
I'm
in
at
chat.
75%.
Do you want Axonixov to do it because they just hooked you up?
Yeah, if they want it, it's theirs.
Is this a pay to play situation?
Absolutely.
All right, Axonixov, why don't you go ahead and roll me a D100? And my personal request is for you to roll very high. I mean, like,
Wow.
if you get like a 99 or like a 97
Sure. I didn't think we.
Or-
I was.
or a 14, that sucks.
Wow.
Well, since
Wow.
they're hooking you up with a beneficial kingdom event, do you want them to roll again and you want to pass it on? Oh, wait, shit. That didn't matter yet. You don't automatically just get one. Holy shit, hold on. There's a 75% chance. First, there's a chance as to whether or not it hits it. I'll hold that roll because I did it out of order. That's my fault. But do you even get an event roll? Do you want them to roll? Do you want somebody else to roll? And what doesn't get the event, high or low?
Let's go with low doesn't get the event, and who wants it? How about V sword? There you go. That's the first thing I
V-sword.
saw.
There's a mass hole.
Hey, stick together. Just not too closely.
Back and forth forever.
I'm still social distancing. Forever.
Do. Waiting for V-sword to roll a D100. Let's go, girls.
No, he's greedy.
It was a close pull. 5%.
Yeah. How many times did you vote, Sel?
Once.
That means it's happening, Nick. So you have a beneficial kingdom event. Do you want to go back to Axonixov, or do you want somebody else to roll which event it is?
You're doing great, Axonixov. Go ahead, write it out.
Ooh, you want a 21 to 31, Nick. That's what you want. That's what you need. Nope, 68. 68 is Land Rush.
That event has popped up more than any other.
It's popped up 3 times.
Chat, we should add a command in here where when we roll for kingdom events, you guys can modify the D100 higher or lower. Like a plus 10 or minus 10. Just to make like it fun. Just to make things interesting.
What?
That'd be
I
fun.
don't know. Things are pretty random as it is, buddy. All right.
Well, that makes it less random. That makes it so they can modify it. All right, so anyways, Land Rush, we said, right? Overeager settlers claim an unclaimed hex and construct a farm, mine, quarry, or sawmill at their own expense, but are fighting over ownership. This hex is not a part of your kingdom, so you gain no benefit from it. Productivity, society, and stability decrease by 1. Attempt a loyalty check. If you succeed, unrest increases by 1. If you fail, unrest increases by 1d4. If you construct an identical improvement on an adjacent hex during your next edict phase, remove this event's changes to productivity, society, and stability. So let's look at the map real quick. We gotta get us all to the map real quick.
To also be fair, I only got screwed on this because we had the old claiming rules, which was incorrect.
You're incorrect.
Wrong, but okay.
I don't see how this is beneficial.
Well, you get a free hex if you basically can get 2 hexes with 2 improvements for the price of 1.
Yeah, more with the price of if you do things well, with the price of just a 1 unrest. All right, let's see. I think I know what I want to claim. I'm gonna force you into the woods. So they're immediately going to make where am I? Oh, I'm on the wrong overlay on this. I have too many Roll20s open, and it's loading now. Here we go. They're going to copy, paste right here. I got to change the color of it because it's not yours. So that is not yours. And they built a sawmill right there. So they claimed that hex and they built a sawmill. That is theirs. You now need to make a stability check. Your DC is 35. You have a plus 37. Roll an adding 1 for me, baby.
So I'm just gonna roll a d20 then. Oof.
All right, you
Yep.
succeed. So success means that you only, so if you succeed, stability, productivity, and society all decrease by 1 temporarily. Well, hopefully temporarily. But your unrest does increase by 1 for succeeding. So unrest goes from 0 to 1, and your stability is temporarily a -1. I'm gonna put it under. Oh, it's over here as skill, which is weird. T event. So I'm gonna go over here as a -1 because in theory it's gonna go away, and then your society and what's it called? Productivity are gonna go down by 1, but those might not matter yet. Those might not matter. We'll find out afterwards because we can just kind of put a hold on to whether or not that even affects you. All right, awesome. We good?
We are good.
Cool. That concludes all of your events. All right. As for the thing that fell from the heavens, that Lenny was able to get his hands on, that Ryan was able to work with, so on and so forth. So was able to find out from this geode that kind of fell from the sky and smashed into the ground. It was difficult for them to crack open the geode fully to be able to properly check out the gemstones that were in the inside. When they actually discovered what the gemstones inside do, was able to discover what the gemstones inside do is you actually realize that these gemstones are each very, very, very absorbent of spells that are cast on them. So any spell that has an extended duration, that has a duration onto it, it'll actually take whatever that duration is and it'll multiply it by an extreme amount. So when I say an extreme amount, if it is a duration that is rounds, number of rounds, duration goes up to days. If it's a duration of minutes, that goes up to actually number of weeks. If it's a duration of number of hours, that duration goes up to number of months. So like durations of these are extremely long. So that is the good news. Give me 1 second to see what happens here. Wrong clan. Open you.
This is the wrong character. I'm not playing Skeksis.
Oh, Jesus Christ, fucking Skeksis. So the bad news is that Lenny accidentally in his experimentation cast Unseen Servant onto one of the things to test it out. Unseen Servant lasts 1 hour per level. So for the next 3 months, he has an Unseen Servant with him at all points in time, which is super useful. When they go and explain this to you, he apologizes and gives to you the crystal. So therefore, you have an Unseen Servant that's with you for the next 3 months. So that's fun. But either way, the number of crystals that happen to exist inside there from this fall, I will allow you. So obviously, one is already an Unseen Servant that's just put away. The number that they were able to salvage is, because you rolled a critical success, going to be so it's supposed to be just 1d4 plus 1. It's going to be 2d4 plus 1. Who do you want to roll it?
Ooh, can we split up the d4s?
Yeah, you want 2 different people in chat to roll for you?
Yeah, who wants them? First 2 to respond, get it.
There you go.
All right, Snaga and Phoenix.
I hope they both roll 1s.
Double 4s.
All right, quick, somebody else roll a d4 to fuck with Ash.
D4 broke.
LD did. Nice. All right. There you go. It's
Oh, no.
It's a 3 and 2.
No, it's
Xylemos. Oh, Xylemos fucked with them too.
You did this, Scott.
I know.
You did this.
I did do this.
Someone else has to do. It's a 1.
Yes! A 2 and a 1 is 3 plus 1, of course. is 4. So you have 3 of them, Nick.
One for each of the clans, plus 1 for you, right?
Whoa. 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 So, Nick, clearly these are very valuable and can be sold if you wish to do that. Or you can keep them for yourself.
Okay, so
Did I win,
have-
Dad?
Yes, you did. So I have 1 crystal with Unseen Servant, and then 3 extra.
Realistically, the Unseen Servants should be brought back to Shado because he likes his servants to work and not be seen.
Well, I thought he was a priest, so little boys.
I don't have knowledge religion.
You are a theocracy.
I'm not though, actually.
Yeah, but you are.
I'm a autocracy
With
because
religion.
there's no less bad sounding government type. At least I'm not
no.
overlord.
What is Nick's? Is Nick's also
Autocracy.
autocracy? Yeah, Nick's and Jake's overlord, right?
I'm a very light-handed autocracy.
Jake, you're overlord,
Um,
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, of course you are.
Yeah, I am.
Good for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So so autocracy, we're actually more of a meritocracy. So I have to give one of these to Ryan.
All right. There you go. That's awesome. Ryan is not going to cast any spells on it right now. He is no fool like Lenny. He will wait for something that's valuable to him. So, because
Only a couple months.
We talked about the durations of an hour per level, but what if he can cast a spell on it that has a longer duration than that? What if it lasts 24 hours? Does that make it a year? Or just 24 months is 2 years?
Yeah,
So,
Scott mathed it wrong.
no, because there is durations 24 hours versus duration 1 day per level. It's 2 different things.
True.
You know what I mean? So, like, those are 2 very different durations.
What about
exist
something
in the
that
game.
has? What if something has infinite duration?
Oh,
Does
it's-
it have extra
well,
potency?
Duration instantaneous and duration permanent are 2 different things.
Permanent.
Duration permanent would probably just stay the same. It's permanent.
Or would it be extra powerful? Can't be
This-
dispelled.
This is more or less a temporary version of permanency. So, you know,
Understood.
but either way. So, back to game. You guys are off badass. Good. You're good to go. Cool. Anything else? Oh, my daughter drinks out of bottles like that. So,
It's got a Brita filter in it.
how cute.
Yeah,
Oh.
it was $1 cheaper, so that's why I got the pink one. Unironically.
Color doesn't matter. I just meant
I know.
the kind of bottle. So, either way, Nick, anything else you're doing with your clan?
Nope. We're just gonna have a little ceremony where I gift Ryan a crystal, and then that is it.
Okay. We're gonna have to find out something to do with that crystal, Ryan. Who made Ryan? Who was that? That's Anno, isn't it?
It is.
Anno's gonna go digging. He's gonna go digging and searching. All right, who has the last kingdom role that matters before we start diving into the more individual personalized stuffs?
Jake.
Jake. Jake the snake makes my body quake. Hey, big boy.
What?
Hey, big boy.
Dang.
I'm sorry, does that make you uncomfortable, Sal?
No, it's just confusing.
Oh, well, I'm sorry that you're confused. I was kind of hoping that by the time you were in college, you'd know. But so you're aware we accept all types
Oh,
here.
boy.
All
You know, I
types?
live in the South. You know, it's kind of weird down here.
I'm sorry, man. Well, you're accepted here. We love
Am
all
I?
people.
I don't know. I'm kind of attacked
joke-
all the time about my clan.
Jokes aside.
I feel like, you know. eh.
Like you said, you're from the South. I mean, you wear those white hoods, you get it. You know, it's a little deserved.
No. That's too much.
Okay.
Not
Oh.
from the South. I disown it. Let's go back a bit.
Jake, I think you guys have a relatively easy month. Relatively easy.
I hope so. I
Relatively
really
easy.
do.
You need it, Jake.
Shut up.
Hmm.
No, I do. Keep dealing with Barren Lands incursions. Not getting a break.
All right, let me pull up your kingdom because it's the only kingdom I don't have open. Where are you? City states. Jake's kingdom. There we go.
All right.
1 second. Pull this up for everybody else. Okay. All right, sir. Let's get started. So your kingdom, when we last left off, was dealing with some very interesting stuff down here. You had that. Do you still have people in that prison over there?
What?
You have a little prison right here.
No, you just did that to.
That went to
said
my
that I
clan.
didn't have the farm.
Oh, that's right. You took those people. That's right.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I offer them they can stay in my clan or they can go home. I didn't care.
Okay. Jake, it is time for your kingdom. We have to start off with the basic stuffs, same as always.
Yep.
It's gonna be kingdom building. It's gonna be the event roll. So we already know how. Sorry, not the event roll. The upkeep rolls. So let's get this stuff started for you. First things first is gonna be determining your stability. You're rolling with a 40 against a 36. Looks like you did not roll a 1, so you're good to go. That's gonna reduce your unrest from what to what?
3 to 2, I believe.
Okay. So I can do that for you over here if you'd like. Got ya? You're good to go there. Let's see. After that is going to be your next thing, the upkeep fees. Sorry, I gotta keep this shit over here so I can find it easier. Is gonna be paying your consumption. So your consumption is a 1. Oh boy, Nick, you gotta up your consumption game, baby. Oh wait, did Nick roll his taxes? He did. He did roll
Yeah,
his taxes.
he did everything bar the last events.
That's right. That's right. He definitely rolled his taxes. All right, cool. So, anyways, you gotta pay your consumption, which is a whopping 1, bringing you from 18 down to a whopping 17. Woo-wee. After that, you gotta fill any vacant magic item slots. I don't think you have. Oh no, you do have an empty one. You have an empty potion one.
I do.
That's right. You have 2. You have an empty potion 1 or potion 1 to recite 1. So, choose somebody in chat to roll a 51 or higher.
I'm gonna go Joey.
Joey. Joey. D100. Joey. You don't get a magic item. Next. After that is going to be modify unrest. Are you going to attempt a loyalty check to try to modify your unrest, sir? You only have to roll a 4 to succeed.
I am going to.
Okay. You rolled a 48 out of 36. You're good to go.
Yeah.
So your unrest goes from a 2 to a 1. That's good news.
Yep.
Unfortunately, still two rounds away from being able to make money off of that, but that's good. All right, going into the event phase, assigning leadership. What are you doing with your leadership, sir?
I'm not doing anything. I'm not assigning any leaders.
Not changing anything out? Good to go? Cool, moving on. Claiming or abandoning hexes.
Claiming or abandoning hexes. All right, let me have a look. We'll take this hill here.
Oh, you're really getting aggressive on your allies over there, aren't you?
Well, let's not mistake things. They're not our allies. They're,
Oh, I can't do that with this. Video from the side over here. Copy and paste. Okay, took the hill. That's going to cost you 1 BP. Claiming any other more hexes there, sir, because you can claim up to 2.
No, I don't want to put it up too much yet.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Because you can grab another one so you can build multiple farms.
I already have heaps of slots to build farms on at the moment, which I haven't, so
Okay.
I'm not gonna worry about it yet.
So you claimed 1 hex. Let's go back over here. That was a hills hex. You're adding to your repertoire. So that gets you up there. Increases everything for you because now you're size 16, I believe. Yep. Cool. What are you going to do with your next step in this is going to be build terrain improvements. You can, by rules, build up to 3 improvements. What are they?
Alright, let me have a look at how much BP do I have?
16 currently.
16, and it's 4 or 3 to build a farm.
It's actually 2 to build a farm, I believe, if it's on plains, and I think 3 or 4 if it's on hills. You're only invested
so-
right now for 5 BP for your castle.
And 5 for the stockyard.
Where's the stockyard being built? Oh, in the secondary town, which you haven't named yet, which is why I forgot it existed.
Yeah, that's right.
So you could actually legit build 3 farms right now.
If you don't have a granary, you don't need to. You only have 2 consumption at the moment, right? So you just need to build 1 farm, and maybe save the money in case something comes up next month.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
But if he builds a second farm, it allows him to be prepared for when he expands more shit in the future.
Well, yeah, but he can just
building-
build it next turn because he'll have 0 this turn.
Mm-hmm.
So I
For
can
next
build
consumption
up to
phase.
3. I'll build
Up to 3 improvements.
2.
2 farms?
The fertile farms, yeah.
Okay, so they're not fertile yet, but they'll be in the area that will inevitably be fertile, right? So you're spending 4.
Yeah, that's right.
Your farms. Why do yours? Why does it? Okay, so yeah. So you're building 2 regular farms, I believe.
I would maybe build a mine too, because it can give you bonus BP.
So you're gonna build a farm, probably
How much is a mine?
I think it's 6,
here.
so 6 months to pay off, and it gives a +1 to economy.
6 months to pay off.
Well, it's 1 BP. You get 1 extra BP a month,
Oh,
right?
okay. I thought
So
you were telling me that it's like over 6 months.
No.
Building
You pay it off in 6 months. It pays for itself, plus the econ bonus. That can't really quantify that well.
By the way, chat, if you didn't notice, Jake now has the updated character sheet here. I don't know why his expense is 5 though. That actually was inaccurate from before. Because his expense would have been 10 plus 1 for consumption would have been an 11. But
That's a user error.
yeah, of course.
Well, it is. It's manually enter.
No, I'm aware. I'm agreeing with you. But Nick is still on the old sheet.
We also, guys, you gotta get ready to raise armies. I think conflict will be soon.
What? No. What? It's all good. Don't worry about it. Moving on. So, Jake, so you did that. You built 2 regular farms. I placed them, I don't know if you noticed, north of your new town. That way you didn't do it on the hills because it's more expensive. And those will eventually be fertile farms, as you know. So that'll be, you currently should have 3 farms. Wait, what do you have? Hold on. You should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 farms. And because you built one on your town forever ago, you should have 3 farms. But you currently says you have 2. That's weird. And you should have 1 fort, 6 roads, and 2 watchtowers. 1 fort, roads has never changed, and 2 watchtowers. That's all correct. So that's actually where you should be right now. You're good.
Roads did change for me. Remember, I built another road to the.
So you have
fort.
6 total. Hold on. 1,
I think,
2,
1,
3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, you have 6. Sorry. So it was 5. Now it's 6. Gotcha. Okay. Any other train improvements? Because you built 2 out of the 3 train improvements you can do. Or are you good? You good now? Cool. Awesome. Moving on. So what is it? Okay. So after this is going to be your improvements, I think, for your buildings. So yep, it's your improvement edicts. So your buildings. So you're gonna take 10 more BP away, and we're gonna update Kabe to being only 9 months left, down to single digits, baby. And Town 2, which is still fucking yet to be named, Jake.
Yes,
To 2 months left. Can you name your goddamn town, or I'm gonna name it for you?
All right.
You have until the end of the session, then I name it.
Oh god.
Yeah. And that new
So
name will be
how many
canon.
turns? 2 turns for the stockyard, is it?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. So if you have a good economy roll this time, next turn you could afford to just like boom, 3 more hexes. 2 more hexes because your expansion is only standard. Let's see. If you change your expansion to cautious, sorry. To aggressive, your consumption stays 0. And you can claim 3 hexes. That's fucking cool. Because right now you're
I need
standard.
the stats to back it up though, which I don't at the moment. I have good stability, which is great, but the loyalty. will.
Oh, it's holiday. I think it was you were trying. No, who's trying to get their consumption loads for holidays? Was that you, Cell? Gotcha. So you need a negative like 8 or something so you can jump up your holidays. Yeah. All right. So back to you, Jake, with your shit.
Yep.
Let's get it done. So you train improvements, you're done. Are you doing any army? Probably no army stuff, right? Cool.
No,
Issuing edicts. Are you changing any of your edicts at all?
Nope.
Okay, keeping everything as it is. And then are you going to so you're done with all that stuff. Cool. Are you withdrawing any?
I can build a building now.
Sure. Would you like to?
Yeah, and going into negatives is just 1 unrest, right?
Might be 2.
I think it's 1 unrest per VP that you go into negatives.
No, I looked it up. Unless you want to change that, it's literally you can be in however much negative and just lose 1 or 2 unrest.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
Double check it, please, Sel. And what's your plan, Jake?
Yeah.
Thank you, Sel. Appreciate it.
I think it's 4 BP for a Bordello.
Oh, you want one too? You see,
Yeah,
they're having too much fun in
it's-
Kushibashi.
It's loyalty and economy, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so.
What does
Yeah.
it require to build? Does it need to be next to anything or no? I don't think
No.
so. Where do you want to build it? Next to the dance hall? And the tenement houses?
Yep.
You're build it
That's
directly next to the dance hall?
Yep.
So it's as close to the castle as across the street?
Yeah.
I figured. See, to me, that makes sense that you would want to be like, I'm just going to go for a walk. How long does it take for them to build?
1 that's built.
Okay.
So it says if your treasury is negative after paying consumption, your unrest is increased by 2. I'm looking for where I saw that if you I think that's the only rule on it, but I'll look a little further.
And Bordello costs what, 4?
Yep.
So that brings you to -2. So I'm pretty sure that means that you are going to gain 2 unrest.
Find that out if you can sell, so I can figure out if it is a 1 or 2 unrest.
And after that, you're going to, let's assume it's 2 unrest for now. You're going to roll your treasury for me. Because you're going to push on while he's still looking. You're not withdrawing anything from the treasury?
No, I'm not.
You're not making any deposits?
Nope.
And you're not going to sell anything expensive?
Nope.
So let's collect taxes. For you, sir, you have heavy taxes, and your current economy is a 30.
Okay. My control is a 37 now, right, as well?
Your control is a 37, sir, yes.
Okay. Loyalty 32 and stability 41?
Yes, sir. Yep, all that. 4D, 40.
Okay, 40.
Mm-hmm.
Loyalty is a 32, though?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, alright, good. Alright, now I'll do this. Where is that? Tax collection there.
Why did the melons plan a big wedding? Because they cantaloupe.
Oh,
boy.
I need to roll luck.
Oh, you want to lower that first?
First?
Yeah. Look at first.
Yeah.
Nick was kind and saved you luck. He's not Sal.
I appreciate it, Nick. Thank you.
He's a better person. For like a lot of
True.
reasons.
You're
For a
welcome.
lot of reasons, yeah. I was hanging out with somebody yesterday, and while we were talking to them, I've known this guy for probably 7 years. No, longer. 9 or 10 years since I think I met him after I met Brittany, but he's like a extended family of my sister-in-law. Anyways, so I always assumed he was like about my age, maybe a little older. Found out he was 42. Oh boy, he got it pretty good. That poor guy. We realized he was 42, and then we were like, now we understand why you don't understand anything we talk about. Like, you are so old. That sucks. Oh, sorry. What did you get? 14?
Yep, I've updated the treasury to 12.
I mean, what did you actually roll on that? A
5.
2? No. What the fuck is it? It's actually showing the roll for me because I was on a different tab. So it's a
It was a
5.
5.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's trash.
So the only thing that mentions negative BP is if you have negative BP when it is time for consumption, you get 2 unrest. So if you want to say you get to now, it's fair enough in my opinion.
It probably means that you're not allowed to go slide into negative BP when, for the sake of building buildings. So
but it's a bit different because we're using the ultimate rulership system that does the monthly taking of it instead of the original intended rules where you spend all the money at once.
Either way, you're not supposed to slide into the negatives. Like that's something that you're not supposed to be able to do. You're not supposed to be able to spend money you don't have, right? But I'm saying like, oh, if you want to take a penalty for doing that, you can make a loyalty check. If you succeed, you get -1 unrest for each BP you take. If you succeed, you take 1d4 +1 for each that you take. So you just have to make a simple loyalty check, which the loyalty check for you, Jake, would have been because you're making the loyalty check after you take it out. Sorry, before you take it out. Since the loyalty it's in your favor, you get to roll before the 3 unrest. So it's going to be you have a +34 against the 37 as of this moment, and then depending on your result, we'll find out what it is.
Okay, so you want me to roll what was it, a plus
loyalty,
34?
and it's with a 34.
And yeah, I think that's fair, Scott.
Mm-hmm. Because if I'm going to allow you to take money you don't have, there has to be a penalty for it.
But also, like, it makes sense a nation can reach into money they don't have. I mean, it happens all the time.
Mm-hmm. Usually it's by squeezing debts of XYZ. So.
Oh, I just made it.
Wow.
That's a little close.
Can I have the ability to give them penalties on these rolls, chat?
No.
Can we make it so that I can?
When that was in Kingmaker,
no, we're not talking about Kingmaker. So in Kingdom rolls, can I have the ability to increase their DC before they roll?
No.
Can I have that option? Can I increase their DCs? Or how about this? How about this? You have the option to say like this is a hard one,
cruel.
and you have the option to spend daddies to give like a +3 to the DC.
We have 3 no's.
I think I don't have the option. I'll place the option for you guys, and you guys can choose whether or not to click it. No, listen, you can say no all you want. No just means don't click the button. But I understand what happens if Steve wants that to be there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand whether or not Steve should have that option.
Look how many no's are in there. Wow, Scott.
You notice who didn't say no, Steve? You know who else who didn't say no? Rosin? You know? Just saying. You notice who didn't say no, Viking? Just saying, from down under.
I don't think Viking's here.
Don't call out Viking like that. That's rude.
You're calling out Viking.
Let's pull attention to Joey's latest comment there, which I agree with.
I mean, honestly, I could just perma-ban Joey. Fuck that guy. So.
Whoa. Whoa. It's a bit intense.
I'm just kidding. Love you, Joey. All right. So,
he's goading you. Oh, God, no.
You're right. I won't. Because I am what I eat. All right. So, anyways, you sir are going to negative to the unrest that we currently see. That's right. I can drop that hammer. If you know what I'm talking about, V-Sword. Lewd comments. So
where's the lewd boy when you need him?
For you, sir, you have a 25% chance of there being an event roll. And while we're talking about chaos, Steve, could you go ahead and roll me a 51 to 75? That would trigger an event for Jake. If you roll me a 51 to 75.
Would it? Are you selecting it? All right, we'll go with that then.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, is that 75 numbers or is it 74?
Steve.
You should just pick the top 70, top 25, Scott.
Steve. Just outside, you're missing by 12. Steve, too bad I don't get to choose. Jake, who's rolling for you and what's the parameters?
He agreed to it. He agreed to the parameters.
I did agree before it was rolled.
No.
So
I think,
no event.
Hey, V-Sword, can you roll me less than 26? V-Sir, can you go ahead and roll me less than 26 with a D100, please?
Jake, just tell someone to roll instead of letting Scott do this.
There's no roll that needs to be had, so
True.
it's already
I'm
been
just
done.
trying to have an event, man. I'm just trying to look at that. Awesome. So since we have an event,
No event.
Jake, do you want to know why we have no event? Jokes aside, do you want to know why we have no event?
Yeah. Well,
Because we always do the random events last. We have to do the pre-planned events first.
Well, there is none, right?
Oh, of course there are.
Oh.
I have pre-planned events. I don't just get them from Patreon. I have events too. So Jake, this is going to be inside of your seats. Let's move you over to the hot seats. You guys are going here. You're going here. Nick and Cell, please remember that you have advisors. Nick, feel free to be mean to Cell over the various things that happened. Jake, do you have any advisors that are currently missing from tasks?
nope.
No, nothing.
Nope.
Okay, give me 1 second. I just have to check something here. I have to check two things.
Oh, you also need to remember that you haven't given me my discovery either.
What discovery?
I made a discovery and then you asked VSword to say what it was, and then you ignored it.
I don't remember what Discovery V Sword said there.
Oh, yeah. It was a I think it was. Oh, it's in the spoilers chat. God, I remember reading it.
So I just had to read an FF that was from 3 days ago with somebody like bitching. It was just straight on. It looked like just a little bitch fest on that FF right there. Like,
VSword said.
Clear the name. Someone can remember. Yeah. I
I remember clearly. Yes.
Oh.
That was a good one. Best use
VSword.
of FF I ever had.
VSword said something like an old armory with weapons, but some of them were experimental in shape, functions, or materials.
Was that inside of the spoilers chat?
Yes.
Okay. So, and this is the discovery that was had beforehand. Oh, that's right. So it was supposed to be over inside the Barren Lands, like just over inside the Barren Lands. Or no, it was inside of your home. It was inside your capital city, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah, right inside your capital city. Or is it the settlement?
Was
it
it
was the capital?
Was it in the thing like the 2 districts away in your capital, or was that unrelated?
I don't know. I have ruins from this event already, but then I got it again. So I don't know where you're gonna put them.
Gotcha. Okay. So what we could say is that same discovery, because it would have applied to one of the other towns, Kabe. Probably because it's +2 lore. And let me just double check that event real quick before I finish describing what happens. To finish up from last time for her. Events. And what did we say it was? A discovery?
It was a ancient armory with weapons and experimental stuff.
Fame and lore increases by 1d4, and he rolled a 2. Okay, yeah, so it actually was Kabe. To be clear, it was Kabe because you rolled a 1 both times you got this, so it was there. Yep. So more or less, what we can say is inside of those ruins is where they actually were able to find the cache. Kind of like we're able to find like a weakened wall or whatever it was, and by busting through that wall, they were able to find the cache of all different types of experimental weapons of different designs, so on and so forth, that were there. So that's what it is. However, if you want, somebody could potentially look into the efficacy of those designs, whether or not they would make for decent weapons, blah 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 blah. But that person, you probably don't want to have Clan Densho do that. You might want to take somebody from Clan Shado to come over and look at this sort of a thing. Now, looking at these things wouldn't have to be a 3-week task, like the difficulty of that one, and they don't have to travel as far. So you can invite somebody from Clan Shado to come over for 3 weeks to look into this. That's Shado's offer. There's 2 people who realistically make sense. It'd be Lenny, but Lenny's already got his hands tied, or it'd be Jorman to come and look at these details. Now, I will say this. And mind you, this just takes him away from advisor tasks. It wouldn't take him away from his tasks, from his actual job, right? To be clear to you, Tessel.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so it just takes him from his the ability to do an advisor task, but he'd still be running the kingdom, so he wouldn't be vacant. So
Yeah.
back to you, Jake. You don't have to have him look into this now, but these weapons are very old, and others are going to get antsy with wanting to touch them, so on and so forth. So just the sooner you have him aid, the better result on it. But it's probably Jorman you want to look into these things.
Right, so this wouldn't come under Auroram's divine archaeology thing.
What was that?
Auroram has divine archaeology as one of his focuses. Wouldn't have anything to do with that.
Divine archae. Oh, I guess Auroram could look into it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
Okay.
definitely possible.
I'll probably have Auroram do it then.
Okay, then we'll have Auroram look into it before we do anything else. So why don't you go ahead. Now, these are, of course, ancient lore. You guys have limited knowledge, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it's not going to be an easy task. Auroram is going to be the one rolling into it. He does have that +2, which means he has a fluffing +10. That's a crazy high bonus for Auroram. That means he has a fluffing +10. But the challenge, same as with what it was with Nyx, it's going to be formidable. DC 13. Sorry, say DC 23.
It's +10.
+10 against a DC 23. Yes, sir.
Oh, yep.
Succeeded by 5.
So I had to beat it by 7, didn't I?
Correct.
50 chance, 50%.
Do
it.
Yeah, I'm gonna try.
Roll 1.
Oh.
Yes. That makes me so happy. I mean,
bet it
Jake,
does.
good job. Hey, listen, you got to have a random event turn into an additional thing, so you stop whining. So by looking over these weapons, the designs and whatnot, you can actually see that there's the design of these weapons actually strikes him as being significant. These weapons remind you of, as he's looking it over, his divine archaeology, so on and so forth, of things he remembers hearing about in old lore, old folklore about weapons that people use in the Barren Lands and raids since long since past. The raids have pushed further and further each time and always got battered back. But every time that the raids kind of come through, there would be like different effects that happens. This reminds him of some of the stories that he heard long ago from the raids that have that were done, so centuries prior, and what could have been kind of like kept in here by whoever continued to own the lands afterwards or locked up the walls or what have you. But the design of these weapons, while the technology of the design, though granted the materials used are very simplistic, again, Bronze Age, right? The design of them is brilliant and honestly something that could be used in the favor of your clan or other clans in the hands of a skilled craftsman. Again, unfortunately, you don't have a skilled craftsman. So you can either hire a craftsman to come and handle these tasks, or you can, which we kind of say things like hiring an adventurer, right? Or you can send them off to Jorman. To see if Jorman can do anything with it, but he would definitely be able to come up with like designs and come up with the efficacy, say the details of it, so on and so forth. But it would be Jorman that would have to do the physical craft check labor of building, which he can do while doing advisor tasks and whatnot. That's fine.
Yeah, of course. And in 2 months, he could even do his special craft check.
Sounds good. All right, we'll let Jorman have a look at them when he can. Hopefully get something good out of it.
Keep notes of that. Cool. Moving on. After that is going to be after that is going to be the next kingdom, the next event roll. So obviously Auroram is not here because he's currently handling that as one immediate situation. So another one that's going to come up is going to be from Sarash. Warlord, the people are growing restless. There are many talks that have happened lately about Shadow. and how Shado keeps its people like slaves. She actually looks over at Shoka for this. How Shado keeps its people as... Wait, why is Shoka in both?
That was on you, Doug.
What's that one supposed to be?
Kitun.
Spell?
Kitthun.
Looks directly at Kitun, even though that looks like Kithun. Looks directly over at Kitun and says, as rumors with Shado and how they treat their people. Now, their concern is they work hard, whether it be defending the borders, hunting, production and sale, everything they do to keep Clan Densho running well. But the amount of taxes levied upon them lead them to believe that they are little more than slaves, given a slightly longer leash. They've actually even spoken of how clans Kushibashi and clans Shado tax their people significantly less than we do here. And there is word that they will start deserting us for clans that, rumored to be slavers, tax their people more appropriately.
Huh?
Do you want
so-
my advice on this?
Yeah, but just before we go, I caught half of what you said. Just give me the lowdown. People
Wow.
are annoyed that we're taxing too much.
Correct. And that the supposed slavers tax less, as does Kushibashi, your immediate
It
neighbors.
makes sense that they tax less because they just take everything for themselves, right? You think that was okay? Anyway,
What? Okay, listen, there's no memes in the actual world, okay?
Wow.
God damn it.
Says the guy whose people are raiding my farms.
God.
yeah.
And I'm the one, I cooled over a lot of tensions. I made sure no one was dying on our border and just throwing me under the bus after I made sure people were kind of good.
He wouldn't say that, but we
Joey,
need
you spelled that
the-
wrong. It's Hahbah. That's how you spell that. Thank you. Good thing there is no haba in Clan Densho for him to dump all the tea. That's how you do it. Okay. It's actually I was on the phone with Neil at work, and he actually, the aforementioned Linda, he got to hear Linda speak because she just knows he's a friend of mine from the UK. She didn't know that how or all that stuff. And he goes, she sounds like she's from Boston, doesn't she? It's like, no, worse, Rhode Island. It's like the Rhode Island accent sounds like somebody from it sounds like the Boston accent and the New York accent had a baby and then dropped it on its head a few times. It's
Oh,
really
God,
painful. It's really bad. But anyways, so go ahead, sir. She says to you, do you want my opinion on this matter?
I do.
Well, I think Mortifer thinks they should be happy to be here. Mortifer says that they have fields to plow, and they have women and men to plow too. Mortifer knows you do not have those things in barren lands, and they should be happy that Mortifer is not plowing them. And Suresh just looks at him with like narrow slits for eyes, like agitated, and then chimes in and says, they have a point. How is it that our neighbors are able to battle back their issues, whether if those issues be the Paradel, giving away their spoils even to their enemy, the various little buzzing creatures that come out of the woods, and yet do so with taxing their people less. I think that there's
Well,
merit to
Clan
what they're
Shado,
saying.
owns and operates many mines. They have a commodity. Same with Kushibashi to an extent. What we have is farmland to feed the people. We don't have the other resources. This is Siraj. This is going to get worse before it gets better, because we in the next 2 or 3 months will start claiming territory in the Barren Lands where no farms can grow. Why we have a higher tax rate is to finance expansion. If I were to lower it, we may as well say to the northern clans, we don't have the resources to do our job, so we'll leave.
If I may counter your point, Warlord. First of all, we have enough farms that we can actually do proper trade with other clans. And I don't just mean our allies. I mean we can properly establish trade routes through the trade edict, sending our grant of whatever the hell you call them, outs to do so. This would bring in more finance for us and therefore allow us to tax the people less. Also, the people aren't going to be very excited that we're going back into the Barren Lands where they just fled from, if they need to be worked as hard as they are to accomplish this. And then kind of chiming in with their own point in the matter, you actually have Urzog say,
"What? No. They will be happy to go back. Barren Lands is our home. We come here like regroup before battle, and then we take our home. They will be happy. They only complain because they grow soft like Kajinksi, Karak. But back home, they will be hard, and they will not need to be complaining about such trivial things."
and also chiming in on this one, you have Irithel looks to the side and says, "Honestly, I couldn't have said it better myself. Urzog makes a point. They're complaining about these things because they have the time to complain. If their hands were busier, they could have less to complain about. I think that the taxation is fine, and think that there's room to even tax more if need be. What do they need those pleasantries and whatnot for? The money is not going towards making Varix, as making the warlord sit on a fancier throne, though you are building a castle, warlord. Instead, it's going towards solidifying the border. We build walls, we build towers, we raise armies to solidify the border so that they can continue to live with emptier pockets, but alive nonetheless. They should count their blessings and be so lucky. Egrid, I have to see Egrid's opinion before I chime in with it. It's been a while. One second. Shadow always getting in my way. Egrid.
Why is my advisors tab now advisors?
Yeah, Egrid thinks for a moment and says, "I listen to the complaints of the people, warlord. It's my job to listen to them complain. And they do complain a lot. But there's still room. Leave things as they are. Tax them more. We need it. Progress is more important than the complaints of a few people." Suresh sees that she's outnumbered and shakes her head and says, "This is a boiling pot and you're sealing a lid on it. At some point, it's going to need to let out its steam." And she just leaves it at that.
Warlord Densho, may I give advice?
After he just shit on your clan.
He didn't
have
say
any-
that out loud, all right?
He was thinking it though, okay? If you tell your people that you only need a few more months of this burden to get the foothold you need, I'm sure they would be willing to follow you. If you give a deadline, they can see the light at the end of the tunnel and get prepared for it.
Forgive me,
Mortifer
but when-
admits no fault. The only dead line is the line where I make them dead. Or where Mortifer makes them dead.
He waits for Mortar to finish, and once he finishes, he then again says, it's easy to say when your clan has lots of money.
If you need any
We do not.
support, Warlord Tessel would be willing to provide any needed.
Well, I'm sure I'll take him up on that. Thank you. That is welcome news.
He gives you like a deeper bow than he should in a chair.
Then he
this
would
is-
turn to Kushi, the Kushi advisor, and he would say to you first, tell me, Clan Shado is, and no offense meant in this, but all-inclusive, but would Kushi take deserters from Densho? Showing that they're not happy where they are, so they'll move on to possibly Kushi, and maybe if they're not happy there, they'll move somewhere else.
I don't think Clan Densho would find it very welcoming in Kuchibashi. While Kuchibashi's taxes may be lower, we suffer raids quite frequently, and we require those of nimble mind and body. They would not survive long, and Lord Daran most certainly would not accept runaways, as he would see it, from another clan. They're not. If they're too weak, then honestly, cast them back into the barren lands. I feel like you're on the right track. You set the taxes. and that's
Mortifer
what they
smacks
are.
his fist down, like while you're staying, you set the taxes, and says, Mortifer will handle this now. And then goes to start walking out the door as though he's been assigned the task.
Mortifer,
Stop.
it really
I
pains
have
me.
another job for you.
Turns
a more
back.
important one.
Turns back and says, understood. Mortifer needs the most important job. And then goes
And
over
it
and
is
sits
the
down.
most important job, Mortifer. What I need from you, with the increase in funds and further expansion of Carbe, as well as setting up the settlement number 2, I need you to start training your replacement, Mortifer, because you may in the future be given a greater task. You see, I have designs on, in the future, building an arena. Mortifer's arena.
Mortifer has fought in many arena, and all arena fall and bow before Mortifer's might and height.
And that is why that this arena will be called Mortifer's Arena, where only the best fight. I want you to work with the Hill Giant. Try and teach him what it is that you do, Mortifer.
He starts to
For an arena master is
lean
much
into his
busier.
chair. Sense motive as you're speaking. Go ahead. Arena master is much. Yep.
Sense motive, you said?
Mm-hmm.
That's not good for me.
Mortifer sleeping.
I'll finish my status. An arena master is very busy, Mortifer. Very busy. And then he'll just, obviously, dealing with Mortifer is now done. And I'll let him sleep.
Okay.
That's where Eno will go. This hurts me to say, Lord Varix, so deeply. So deeply. But I agree with the Mortifer.
He picks his head up. Mortifer was just closing eyes.
Yes, well. Noted. So, all right, the conversation ends, and now I can pick.
Yep.
So
Mortifer will
wants
stand
to-
up. Mortifer will stand up. Just say, excuse him from the room. He stands up and says, Mortifer will go and beat Giant, as Mortifer knows there is no other. And kind of like starts continue talking to himself as he walks out the door and fades.
He'll forget about it like in 10 seconds. It's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah, probably.
He won't get clubbed to death. Oh no.
He was fighting the light with his eyelids.
I just mentioned to one of the guards, follow Mortifer. Make sure it doesn't get into any trouble.
No.
Probably a guard that's obviously used to me saying
Yep,
this.
yeah. It's the guard that carries the Pampers or whatever.
He probably has a handler.
Yep.
Yeah, yep.
Mortifer,
do
the
you-
battle's this way. Come on.
Do you need the unseen servant stone?
Like my name's Doug, but Jack's fine. That's fine.
Oh my god.
Anyways, so now that he's out of the room, go ahead, Jake.
I'm just trying to think of the.
Ygritte turns to you and says, Warlord, if it's telling the people that we have a light at the end of the tunnel, I will tell them. It's my responsibility to hear the people's complaints and to inform them of what it is that they must do. I will let them know your will and let them know that this is something meant to be temporary, but give no specific time, as honestly, it's probably just going to continue to go on.
All right. Well, the options I have are Sarash wanting to do what exactly? She wants to
Alter the taxes.
make. Oh, she wants to. Okay, well, buy Sarash. We're not altering the taxes. Then we have Urzog.
Urzog is more or less just kind of like, you don't like taxes? All right, draft you into the military.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking of that, to be honest.
If you have the money to afford a new army. And Ygritte is more or less promised to the people that there's reasons for this and to understand why and blah, 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 blah. Loyalty check.
Let's see. All right. Well, I don't have the money, so you're saying that there's only one option?
And of course, what's his name was stability, because he was going to beat it into them. It's Royal Enforcer. And Sarash obviously was to alter it.
All right, well, I can't afford a new army, but that's where I was going to go with this. Which means...
You can try with Urzog. Maybe he'll give you a boon if he can beat it with a, if he can get a critical success on it.
With Urzog, what's the...
I'll tell you once you just tell. Well, I'll tell you once you tell the person, baby, because it's different for each person.
You would do that, man.
It's different for each person. Different for each person.
You want to do the fake light at the end of the tunnel?
Yeah, no, I'm not. I don't think so. I don't think we. I can't afford another army though. So if it becomes that, like, I can't pay for it. No way. So using Urzog with maybe it'll be free. It won't be that way. So I guess I have to go with. What's her name?
Ygritte.
Where is she?
What is she?
She's the law speaker or counselor.
Oh, I mean that's probably the best one for this because it's literally.
I don't have another viable option, which is the shitty thing. I would 100% go with Urzog, but if I have to, Scott, will failure to do that make? Well, let's say I succeed the task. I'm gonna have to pay BP, right, to raise an army more or less.
Yeah, you're gonna be raising an army.
I can't bank on a critical success, so I have to, as much as I don't want to, go with Ygritte.
Because he's Poe. Because he has money. I mean, he rolled first. He got money as 12 BP, but it's only 12 B. Oh, yeah. Wait, do you have 12?
It's technically 2 because I have 10 that's coming out. So
yeah.
Wait, hold up. Didn't you just do all this shit?
Yeah, I got 12.
But next month he'll be at 10.
Because you had 2. You had 2,
Add
And then,
minus 2.
oh, the minus 2. That's right. Sorry. My apologies. Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. It's up to you, Mike.
Fuck, what's Mortifer? I could change this to Mortifer, maybe. Mortifer.
Mortifer is confused.
Yeah, I can't confuse him. All right, we'll go with you, Grid.
Okay.
This is annoying.
So this is going to be for Egrid trying to calm the people down. Is a loyalty check, unfortunately for you, of course, right? And it's going to be challenging. So you have a +4 against a DC 16, but you have a -1 modifier, so it's a +3 against a DC 16. You
use
still
your
have your
Winifreds.
Winifred, so that 3 becomes an 8.
Why do I have a -1, sorry?
Because loyalty is a -1 because of your skill level. If you look at
Is
your
loyal-
advisor page, you can see it there.
Yeah.
Is it by 5?
It's by 5 or more, yeah.
Oh.
No, it's by exactly 5.
One day I'll get above it to get the +1s.
So
Alright.
you're gonna roll with a +8, I imagine, against a DC 16.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
The odds are in your favor, my friend. I may the dice be kind to you.
Just need to roll an 8.
Bum, 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 bum.
Critical success.
That was incredible. Go.
Lucky.
So when they come back after looking into this, oh Lord, I spoke to them about the significance of what it is that we do in our clan. The significance of, I love how it rolled on the table, by the way. I spoke to them about the significance of what we do in our clan, and like, this is Densho way. Look at it to the other advisors, to the other two. Anyway, sorry. So it's I spoke to them about the significance of what it is we do to them and what it is we do for them, and what it is that we as a clan do for all of Kajinxi. We are the border that protects the new world from the old world. It is the price that we pay to be a part of the new world. It's the price we pay for the generations that come after us. It's the price we pay for those that stand to our left and to our right. Their full bellies each night, their cool beds in the summers, and warm hearths in the winters are because of all that it is that we do. Our people have agreed not only to shut the fuck up when it comes to the amount that they pay in taxes, but I honestly think that we can raise the taxes for a short period of time, and they won't bitch about that either.
Good work.
Do you wish to raise taxes for a short while longer?
Yes.
If I may be so bold as to make a suggestion into matters that without Sarush having to listen to them, because I know that she'll complain. I say if we do it for 3, maybe 4 months, they won't bitch too much.
3 months it is.
Make sure you mark it onto your spreadsheet. And could you go ahead and do me a favor for that critical success? Reroll taxes as though they were exactly as before, but with crushing. And take the better of the 2 results.
Oh, yes, I will.
You rolled it last time with a plus. What did you roll it with? Where were taxes? With a plus 30? Was it? And you rolled a plus 2 for luck. So roll taxes with a 30, and you rolled it with a plus 2 for luck. You have to do it this time with crushing.
Oh my god, you're gonna get so much money from that.
I hope so.
Why am I bad, Xylamos? I'm a good boy.
Look, his people would be like that though.
Yeah.
They can't be as nice as my clan.
Roll well, please.
You rolled a 12, my god.
Yes, thank you.
So I'm just going to confirm that all the numbers were correctly in place. You rolled a plus 30 and a plus 2. Yep. So instead of rolling a 14, you rolled a 22. So you have 8 more BP than you thought you did. But this past month counted as 1 month. So you have 2 more months of this. Okay. So that means you have what, 20 BP going in?
Yeah.
That's good news,
Nice.
right?
That is good news.
Okay. Make sure you have a notes that crushing taxes is only going to last for a short period of time.
Mm-hmm.
For 2 more months. So 2 more months of crushing taxes. Cool. All right. So continuing on. Back to game. You have another situation happens, but this time it's a little bit different. Give me 1 second just to double check some detail real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, that's right. How am I going to handle this? Who's your person? A guard comes bursting into your chambers at some point in time, wherever it is you happen to might happen to be, whoever it is you're spending your time with, whatever it is you're doing, comes bursting into your chambers. Warlord, come quick! Lyra has called for you. There is a situation happening. It seems as though Mara is in trouble.
I'll grab my falchion and walk out after.
So you go walking out after them, and you can see that the what it is you have to go about is an area that has several guards surrounding a bit of a scene. The scene happens to have blood and several different spots in the area, and Lyra has. Do you remember who Lyra is?
Yeah, the Traxian alchemist.
Correct. Yeah. Exactly that. So I have the wrong clan open. I keep having the wrong clan open. It annoys the shit out of me. There you go. So you have Lyra has the person kind of pinned and held back. Lyra actually literally has a weapon in her hand, prepared to attack this person if need be. And as soon as you approach, Lyra says, "Thank goodness you're here, Warlord. Could you please keep this man at bay? Don't harm him yet. I'm sure there's questions to be answered, but I need to see to it if I can dress Mara's wounds. I don't know if she'll survive."
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably grab him by the throat.
So the man you go ahead and grab by the throat. I have to pull up details. 1 second. Sorry, I'm bad at this shit. Bum 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 bum. I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time finding what I'm looking for. There you are. It took me a minute. I'm just dumb. It's because I have things look different on my shit from how they are. So you grab the person by the throat and kind of like hoist them up. The person that's standing before you is a Karuk. It's a full-blown orc. Standing at 4'11", which is pretty standard. You know what I mean? Straight black hair. Like a brownish red hair, brownish red eyes. Sorry, brownish red eyes, almost like auburn eyes. You know what I mean? They're look to be decently strong. You know what I mean? Not young either. 26 years old, which you know for a Karuk is not particularly young by any stretch of the imagination. You can see that they are in fact holding in their hands a falchion as well. That does in fact have blood on it. That suggests that they are likely the person to have struck down Mara, who is currently in a pretty shitty situation and stands there being kind of like lifted up by you. They look at you and they go, "Russian orc."
I'm just glaring at him and I'll say, you attack my Orakuli.
It's not so simple as that.
Who are you?
My name is Zal. Oh, sorry. She says, my name is Saren. My apologies. To the Ashen Orc, I will not give such a name. My true name is Zal Longtooth. Saren is the name that I tend to go by to others.
Zal.
Nods.
You never answered my question. Why did you attack my Orakuli?
I did not attack the Orakuli. She attacked me.
Why? He'll like, as he has him by the throat, kind of he'll look over at that Mara and see how she's doing, but then he'll just give him his attention again.
He thinks for a moment, and then he says to you, "Do you know because you're getting kind of like held up high. He's like, do you know the the ways of the Oraculi, Ashen Orc?
Do you claim to be one?
He says, do you know how it is that one Oraculi is to be replaced by another?
I would have dealt with a few Oraculis in the past.
Mhm.
I don't know how they do out of game, don't know how they do their stuff. But if I would know in game, I would answer that.
If one still has a significant purpose, they should be able to defend themselves and keep that purpose. Otherwise, they have clearly fallen to their superior.
Yeah. If I get that,
in which case, they have the opportunity of death or exile. Same as Kajinxi law.
say-
But mind you, Oraculi are not a Kajinxi thing. Just in
Yeah.
Kajinxi, you typically have that option.
Yeah. But we're not Kajinxi here. He would say, are you trying to replace her?
He kind of looks to the best of his ability that he can. He's a very strong person, but you've got him lifted up, and he's not the most nimble person. He looks to the side at her and says, I don't think I try much. And he says, I don't think I had to try very hard.
With that, Varix lets him go because this is the way. So he'll just release him, and he'll look to Mara, and he'll say, will she live?
He shrugs and says,
Not to him, to Lyra.
Lyra kind of like listening to what you were saying, but never stopped working. Kind of at this point in time, stops and looks up at you, knowing that there are certain rules, and says, Do you wish for her to live, Warlord? She doesn't seem to care either way. It's just more or less listening to your commands. I don't know if you would look to Sauron at all, or what your opinion would be.
I would look to him because this is Oraculi beef.
Mhm.
All right, so I'd say she can be useful. She has proven useful. And what do you offer?
He looks to you and says, She attacked me. I fought, and I defeated her. I was stopped before I could deliver a killing blow against my attacker, and she certainly fell before I could follow Kajinxi's laws on what's...
He waves his hand. We're not... While we're in Kajinxi, we follow Densha here. The old ways.
Well, if it's the old ways, I have not... If she's strong enough to live, then it's the tribal leader's rule. Knowing full well that you're a clan leader, but going by the old ways.
Yeah. So more or less, if she lives, like,
Hey, Magoo.
is it more so stop treating her, and if she lives, kind of thing?
Well, it's your choice. It comes down to you. If she's strong enough to live, could mean that, or it could mean well, she lived through medical aid of a Triaxian.
Yeah.
Hell, I still haven't rolled the die roll for the Triaxian. I roll terribly.
Yeah. Ooh, big choice. Lyra has done a little bit of work stabilizing her, I assume.
Yeah, but not to the point where I'm willing to roll dice yet. I want to see what you do first.
He says she's strong enough, she will live and she will serve. Lyra.
So do you want Lyra to not aid?
Not aid. Let her fight.
Okay, let me just check this real quick then. So with a heal skill, the way it works is if Lyra does first aid, which is just to keep her alive, is a DC 15. Let's be straight here. Lyra has a plus 10 on heal checks. The likelihood of succeeding is 80%, right? Just with a naked die roll. So 80% chance of success. However, without that, then what's her name? Mara has to roll against dying. That all depends on how many health points Mara currently has. Mara's constitution is a 12. So she dies at -12. It's just to make a DC, what, 15, I believe, Constitution save with a, it's not a Fortitude save, it's a Constitution check, I believe, every round with a DC of 15, but she has a penalty equal to her number of negative health points. I'm confirming that right now. Pathfinder dying. Conditions dying. So to confirm this, unconscious near death, negative health points. A dying character, no actions on their turn after being reduced negative hit points, but not dead. On all subsequent turns, it means DC 10 Constitution check to become stable. But you take a penalty equal to negative health points. So how many negative health points they have out of 12? Well, at this point, with how much time has passed, I think it's fair to say that she is missing 2d6 health points before I start rolling this check. 2d6. So why don't you choose 2 people in chat to roll d6s, Jake? I suggest you have Xylemos roll one of them.
I was going to say Xylemos and Viking if he's still here.
Magoo always true. So Magoo, you want to roll a 1? Oh, close. Zai, you want to roll a 6? All right, so this is the -5. DC 10. I have a -5 in my con check, which means I have a plus, I have a -4 total.
Oh, God.
So my current health points are what, -5? So I have to roll this con check with a negative. All right, so I got to do this with, so it's 1d/r 1d20 -4 to this roll. There we go.
Rough.
Okay. So she's now at -6. And she rolls 1d20 -5.
Passes.
That's 10. She hit it on that one, baby. So, she and that's too bad. She lived. That's too bad.
Good.
So, but here's the thing, though. She may have lived to that point. She stabilized, but now she has to survive long enough to heal, right? So once you're stable, you stay at that number of health points, right? So she stays at -6. But now when you're unconscious, you heal at how many per how long? Unconscious. Where are you? Unconscious result from what's the stable? So here we go. Character is dying, but has stopped losing health points and still negative health points. The character is no longer dying, but is still unconscious. If the character becomes stable because of aid in others, such as a heal check, then the character no longer loses health points. The character can make a DC each round. The character can make a DC 10 Constitution check each hour to become conscious and disabled, even though their health points are still negative. The character takes penalties on this roll equal to negative health points. If the character becomes stable on their own and hasn't had help, he is still at risk of losing health points. Each hour, he can make a Constitution check to become stable. As the character has received aid, but a failure to him loses 1 health point. So she is not out of the woods yet. She still has to make a check to become stable. So every hour she has to roll. Each hour, Constitution become stable, but on a failed check causes them to lose 1 health point. Okay, so we have to roll again because she's not being aided. Nobody's healing her. Nobody's doing anything like that. So coming back over here, we're gonna roll this with a -6 because that's where she currently is, right?
-5, right?
Oh, -5 because constant. Yeah. She has -6. So let's try this one. Still a DC 10. So she loses 1 more health point. That's after each hour of her being there.
Yeah.
So you're literally lying there in the streets for hours of people just kind of stepping around her. You know? -6. Boom. So a few hours after being knocked unconscious, say about 3 hours after being knocked unconscious, 3.5 hours, Mara eventually kind of comes to. And she's able to get up and keep on keeping on because she's
there are orcs there that are watching, waiting for this.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll direct her to Varys.
Okay, so I'm sorry. You said orcs are standing there in what?
They'll direct her to go to Varys.
Okay, so she would hobble her way to Varix, unaided by anybody else. Would have to bring herself with -7 health points to the others. Now, mind you, because of the fact that she is a full Karak, that meant that possesses she was able to keep fighting if the health point total falls below zeros. They're staggered. So he was able to knock her unconscious even though she has ferocity. So, anyways, so she's able to find her way to Varix very slowly. Probably takes another hour or two to get there. And finally, she finds her way to Varix. Just Varix, or does he have his advisors there still?
This would be just Varys.
Okay.
You live. You are still strong. This is good. This was our Cooley business.
Maybe.
Think on it. Go to Lyra. Rest and return.
I do not trust this Sauron. Something tells me he is not what he says he is.
Well, it's a good thing you lived. You know, I'm not supposed to get into the way of how you handle things, but you did it on your own. What makes you think we have something to be worried about?
He is not known to me, Hans. I don't believe he knows the ways.
No, he said his name was...
Sauron.
No. What did he say his name was?
Oh, Zal Longtooth.
He uses the name Sauron, but he told me his name was Zal Longtooth.
Wow, it's rude of you just share that immediately
Share with Mara, yeah.
to his enemy. Oh, that's a good friend. Good friend.
Yeah. Well, she's saying he might not be an Oraculi, so we need to check it out. He's got to be investigated.
She'll say anything. She's got her ass whooped.
Yeah, well, does she know that name?
No.
Think on it. Well, we must test him. Go. Here. Return.
Did you send her to what's her fuck?
Yeah, Lyra.
Lyra, yeah, because Lyra is able to use her heal skill. What does she have for ability? I can't remember. I don't think she has anything special. I think she can just deny the Reaper. Oh, yeah, that's right. But so I think she could just do like long-term care. Let's see if it even works. Hey, she got a 20, which I think is what's required specifically for long-term care, meaning that in case no, it's treat deadly wounds. That's what she's able to do. Treat deadly wounds, and when you treat deadly wounds hit a 20. She's able to heal the character by a number of health points equal to her own level. So Mara goes from -7 to -4. And then with long-term care, that's a separate check from Lyra. That's only a DC 15. Which actually is missed. Lyra will then have to spend an entire day of resting to be able to be in positive health points. It's an entire day of resting to get to positive, which is good news. She'll eventually come back. I said Amara will be. So, either way. Back to game. So, I imagine you want to have a conversation with him. I don't know if you want to speak with him before the others or whatever the case may be. But
this isn't council business. This is different.
That's fine. You do you, man. Yeah. Though you tend to have your Oraculi on the council, so it might be important, but that's fine.
Well, this is one Oraculi maybe trying to replace another. I don't know yet. I'm gonna summon him and ask him what he wants here.
Okay. So he would you could walk forward and go to speak to him. So you call him in, and he'd say, "Thank you for meeting with me again, Warlord. I am glad things played out as well as they did, lest I'd be the one lying on a stretcher."
Yes, well, she lived. She's strong. Maybe not strong enough for you, but in body.
It's funny you say that because I am not a fighter. So clearly she's not that strong.
Tell me, why are you here?
I came because I felt a calling. I knew it was time.
And what do you have to offer that Mara does not?
Mara seems like the person that takes the easy path. You're the Ashen Orc. You're supposed to have guidance from the Oraculi. Well, as I've defeated the Oraculi by the old ways, it's my place to take her place. And I'll tell you, I don't walk the path of flower beds and declining hills. I've always said, if you're doing something hard, then you're probably doing it right. The correct path is never easy.
Yes, it really is. Why do you go by Saren and not Zal?
Because I'm not from the Barren Lands, or from Kajinksi, though my blood belongs here.
Where are you from?
He switches the language that he was speaking beforehand and says with a perfect accent, whether or not you can actually understand the language. Actually, I'm from a small town not too terribly far outside the Kajinksi border, inside the Dale lands themselves. I don't know if you speak Dalish, though.
I do speak Dalish.
You can see his voice literally rose octaves and whatnot to fit the Dalish like vernacular and whatnot. Like, so he sounds Dalish. It's like if you start speaking French, you just instantly sound like a bitch. You know what I mean? So that was for you, Ano. That was for you, and for last resort, actually. All right, go ahead.
In Dalish, I'll say you are full-blooded. But born in the Dale lands. Do our people have a presence there?
Of course we have a presence there.
I have raided the Dalish before. But our blood seems to be very diluted.
He says, of course we have a presence there. The Kajinksi is the Dale lands. Or at least were, less than 100 years ago.
Yes, but they're not the Dale lands anymore. They're Kajinksi.
Correct. As the Dale lands, one day probably won't be the Dale lands any longer. It'll likely be Kajinksi. Nonetheless, we do have a presence there. And in their minds, depending on who it is that you're speaking to, we have a presence in much of their land.
And what do you think about that? He'll say back in Karak.
Yep, and then switching back to Kruk as well, he'll say, I think those are conquests left for tribes along the Dalish border, and ones that we can handle in the future.
Yes. Well, if you wish to be Oraculi, tell me, you felt a pull?
I may speak bordering with disrespect.
Varys grits his teeth, and then he's like, go ahead.
You hide behind walls and plant seeds with the intention of eventually moving forward and into the south, whereas you should already be there. Now, whereas you are planning, I imagine, on raising armies and cutting down the Karak that you see before you, you're missing an opportunity.
The Karak plan every century to explode out of the barren lands and into new lands to call their own. But they do so following too old of ways. You are supposed to be the bridge between both worlds. That's Clan Densho. We should be speaking with these tribes and inducting them into our own. They should be one with us, not against us. We shouldn't be cutting them down, but talking them down. The path I suggest is not the easy one, as Mara would have you do. It'd be the hard one, because anything worth having, you should fight for.
You speak well. I would consider your advice very carefully. I don't know how the Oraculi do what you do. You have always guided the Ashen Orc. So you will start guiding me. And we will see what you're made of. Because I will fight. What do you know of the Ashen Boar?
Ashen Boar. He actually looks genuinely perplexed with the Ashen Boar.
And Varix raises an eyebrow and he says, a boar, a giant boar with tusks made of stone. When you defeat it, it is born again the next day. To my knowledge, I'm the only one that has killed it. And when I did, I came upon by a group of Triaxians that said as the Ashen Boar is no longer a part of the Barren Lands, either is the Ashen Orc.
These are Triaxians. They believe themselves to be keen and great warriors, but they are Triaxians, as fickle as any feline. I imagine they just used phrasing based off of a situation they saw, rather than it being some sort of prophecy. Leave the prophecies to those that actually look upon the stars, rather than those that are too busy with their heads tucked between their thighs.
He nods, and he'll say, there is something of a kinship, though. The Ashen Boar never dies. The Ashen Orc is always reborn. Start with finding something out about that.
Very well, Ashen Orc, he says, never once calling you Warlord. And he will give a bit of a bow, and he'll turn and walk out.
Yeah. All right, I'll let him go.
Okay. Awesome. Cool. All right. That is, let's see, what events did you just have to deal with? Your people don't like your taxes. You beat the shit out of them. And then took more taxes. Your Oraculi got into a fist fight and got the shit kicked out of her. So you got a new Oraculi. And what was the other one that we just did? Oh, and Mortifer is going to go train your, whatchamacallit. Was that everything?
Yep.
Cool. The last thing, this is specifically a task for either your general or for your marshal, Doxul, for who it is that's scouting the borders, the southern border the most. Irithel. Irithel's looking south. Sorry, or Irithel. I will tell you.
Irithel is looking south. Yeah, you'll tell me what.
I'll tell you the DC of the check. This is the details to the south. This is going to be a hard check.
A hard check, eh? Okay. We'll go with Urzo because he's stationed kind of down there anyway.
Sure.
Okay, so have Urzog go ahead and roll roll the hard check. This is a stability check, so you have a 0 modifier. So it's just a +8 against a DC 20. Whenever you're ready to roll, sir.
Uh, 1d20 plus 8.
Cool. You beat it. You were actually able to discover, because what season are we in, Tessel?
We are in August or September.
Yeah, so we're going into, so for the Southern Hemisphere people's perspective, summer is ending soon. Okay, from more or less the perspective, because I have to tell the story. We're using not the months' names of the actual world. I haven't started using those yet, even though I think I wrote them forever ago. I think I wrote them like before even Regicide started. Anyways, we are using the months that I use in the Northern Hemisphere just to keep track of things more easily. So this is the end of August going into September, right, Sal?
No, end of September.
Going into
Yes.
October.
No. We are end of August going into September. Next month is rolling on September going into
Okay.
October.
So this is what funny enough around here has been referred to as Indian summer, right? So the end of the summertime when the temperatures can sometimes be like, holy shit, that's cold, but also holy shit, that's really hot, as opposed to October, where it's usually cool or cold, but then it occasionally has a hot, right? So this is the end of this month, which is kind of like as you're finishing up Densho's rolls, or like the beginning of the fall, right? Because if the first day of fall is like the 22nd, 23rd of September, your rolls are in those last 30 days. So Jake, you're in autumn now, the very beginning of autumn. So, wait, hold on. You said this is the end of August, early. So we're going into September, Tessel?
Yes, I'm fairly positive.
I'm so sorry. This is the very end
I
of
don't
summer.
think so. I have that I completed October on mine. So
I'm on September.
I actually think that we're supposed to be completing September and next roll is October. I honestly think that you literally just got into the autumn as of right now. So I'm almost positive, but
yeah, I guess it depends on how you count the first roll we did.
Yeah, cool. So when you're going into what Irithel is going to tell you, because it's Urzog is going to tell you, be like,
Warlord, there is a movement happening as the fall comes upon us. You recall the snows of the barren lands and how the Karak tribes move about. We're going to be having the winter settling happening. There will be a bit of fighting for the next month or so. But then once clans settle, they will be around the lake in great numbers. Their supplies will be low, and the winter raids will begin. Be prepared. Every step north is a step warmer for them. Our winter raids will not be light this year. We expect much to happen in the next few months. We have 1, maybe 2 of grace, and then it begins.
and I would have given you a bit more information if you had gotten critical success, but you're a failure in your success.
Ready your men, Ozog. We will start recruiting again.
He nods, and you can deal with that in your next kingdom roll. Awesome. Anyways, let's I think that's it for you. Now we have to roll for the random event. Steve, you're here. Thank you. I'm so glad you're here. Steve,
We roll. You made me roll for it before. If you are forcing this upon me, I get to call a re-roll.
Oh,
if you are forcing it on me,
see,
I have
you
the
can
option.
choose who rolls, and you can choose the number. You can choose who rolls, and you can choose the number.
You can give me a
It
re-roll.
always happens last. How about this? I'll let you re-roll whatever the event's result is, like the final result. The result, not whether or not it happens, not what kind of event, but what the actual event is. I'll allow a re-roll for that if you choose to.
You should let him roll the middle part. The middle part's the only part that wants
No,
to do
I'll
it.
This is bad. This is bad. Scott's been way too generous. Think that this is bad.
What? Lundane
got
wants to
magic
roll.
items.
Let Lundane. Oh, Steve, I would have told you to go high. It's only a 25% chance, I think. So choose the number and let Lundane maybe roll.
The number is 1 to 25.
Okay, so very low, Lundane. You can roll very low. Please don't disappoint me.
I'm waiting for the middling results.
Yeah, I know. It's going to be like a 45. Come on, Lundane, do it for me, baby.
It was close.
I was almost on the nose.
47.
You know what? Hey, Joey, can you do me a favor?
No.
I'd like to hire you to, let's just say, show Lundane their 2 cents. Give Lundane their 2 cents, please. Yeah.
Watch out, Lundane. A hit was called on you. My God.
No. All right. Anyways. 2 gold, please, curse. All right. So that's it. That is it for your events, sir. I think that concludes your kingdom rolls. And you go up to 75% chance. Wib.
Yep.
And your reroll request is now denied. All right, so your expense next time shouldn't be a 5. Your expense next time should actually be a 10. There you go. Just to have that written in there correctly. Awesome. That's everything. Yeah, that's everything. All right, cool. Let's I suppose that was a lot. I know there's still some stuff we want to do at Cell and whatnot, but I think one of the big details is we're gonna have to kind of like get everybody together. Why don't we take like, I know we only have a short period of time left, but why don't we take like a quick break to kind of like step away from all this shit that we just did and come back and have a little bit of RP before we end the session for the night, okay? Sound good?
Yeah.
Let's take a quick little break and we'll come back for a little bit of RP before we end. So we'll be right back, everybody. Besides, I have to pee. And by pee, I mean I gotta go get some.